The Reaper, the Maelstrom, and the Thief is a Dungeons and Dragons show by RollCast and is intended for mature audiences. It contains mature themes, strong language, violence, and drug references. Full content warnings can be found in the episode description. Hello and welcome back to RollCast. I'm Tom, the DM, and with me as usual, JB as our little gnome Dix.
Good evening.
Coogan as our Dragonborn Gregor.
Greetings.
And Gaz as our human Ezador.
Hello.
So
Awkward.
yeah, a little bit.
Well, because
Teeny bit.
yeah,
I mean, is I don't think it's Ezador this time. To be quite honest, I think it's probably Jack, isn't it?
I didn't know whether I should
here.
be correcting you, but I don't know.
Yeah, let's be honest here. Let me just fucking rescind that.
Greetings, humans.
I'll rescind that, and as sometimes is Gaz playing our slimy, friendly monster Jack. Hurrah! All right,
Well,
now that I've introduced everyone correctly, as is quickly, I say this every time, as is quickly becoming our custom, as is our custom now, I have a question for the three of you. And for the first time, it's actually the same question.
Is it?
Now that we're starting to get caught up with you all. And it's kind of based off of last session. So last session, I'll get into a little bit more detail after the titles, but of course it ended with Dix just destroying that lovely spider monster.
Yeah, he was done.
He was done.
He was done.
Did it well.
Lucky shot.
That was
Lucky
that was
shot.
pretty intense for a little gnome there, wasn't it?
It was very intense, and it kind of got me thinking because obviously it seemed like a big moment for Dix. I doubt this is the first time that Dix has ever killed anything at all, but it seemed to be the first time that he's kind of lost his temper as such.
Well,
and just wants to be done. Might not be, but it seemed like a biggish moment. But that made me think. So let's start with you, Dix, seeing as you're the gnome of the moment, as it were. What was your first kill?
Oh.
And how did it happen, essentially? Don't have to go into major detail, but, just give us a rough little...
first kill. First kill it's probably not the story you'd be looking for, though. So it's a simple one as well. It was simply climbing a tree.
Okay.
In the forest back where he grew up, with his brothers and sisters, let's say. He was climbing, as young little gnomes do. And he walked out onto this branch. And he was walking. He got to the end of this branch, and it wasn't strong enough, so it snapped. And he came tumbling down, landed on his back, a little sharp pain in his back. He arched his back a little bit. He stood up, dusted himself off, and then looked down, and there was a little squirrel. With its neck sort of like, so its head would normally be here, but its neck was like this, just sort of looking up at Dix, and that was his first kill. Devastated as he was, because obviously he's a forest gnome.
Still sees that squirrel in his dreams even today.
I could say he'll honestly never forget that.
That
was the first kill. I wouldn't say that's his only kill, but that's the first kill in his youth. Did it set a spark though? That's the question, isn't it?
I was gonna say, I have no doubt that we will. I have no doubt that we'll find out more about Dix's killings as we go along.
You must, you must.
Okay.
It's very intense.
Yeah, I suppose for a forest gnome as well, obviously quite kindred with all the animals in the Belita's forest and whatnot. So that must have been quite a.
It was traumatizing for him. Yeah, it definitely wasn't intentional. Let's just say that straightforward. But Poor little squirrel. Poor little squirrel. His brothers and sisters didn't speak to him for a month after that either. Could have been banished for that.
Gnomes have been banished for less.
Mm.
He's a lucky little gnome to have still have his family for that.
Yeah, but he had to get rid of it, so he threw it in the river. Let it float downstream. Still looking at him as it was floating down.
So you got rid of the body.
He's got rid of the evidence.
Got rid of the evidence.
Okay. I'm going to save you, Gregor, for last, because I have a feeling, oh boy, given your past. So, Jack, Ezador, whichever of you two I'm currently addressing.
It'd be Jack, because
Fair enough.
that's who's here.
This'll be a ride. Jack,
Yes.
what was your first kill?
Yeah, I take it we're including animals in this, are we?
It depends. Like with Dix, an animal, he classes on the same. I'd say that he probably classes on the same level as an elf or a human and stuff like that. So
More so, if anything.
more so, yeah. So your first kill of something that you would class at least on level with yourself.
I'm still waiting for that.
Okay, your first mortal kill, your first human, elf, dwarf, anything along those lines.
No.
Let's go with that.
Let me think. Oh, my father?
Okay.
I think he'd have
Do you
been the
wanna-
first, yes.
Do you want to elaborate? Expand a little bit on that?
I bashed his head in with a big piece of wood.
Why?
Because he wasn't a very nice man, and I had my way. I had enough of him, and when he was just there sleeping, I just thought, I wonder what the inside of his head looks like. So I hit him, and then he died.
As people do.
Did you see the inside of his head?
That's a good question.
By the 12th hit, yeah.
Did you feel anything afterwards? Like Dix has just stated that he felt, obviously regret and remorse over his action.
Yes, I did regret it, yes. Because I didn't have anywhere to live, you see. So I had to spend some time on the streets. I didn't really think it through. It was more of a crime of, what do they call it?
Crime of passion.
Yes, I suppose. I can't say it's felt much passion to it. I just thought this man needs to stop being in my life. So I stopped his life, and then he was dead. Does that count?
I'm really starting to like
think
Jack now.
We're starting to like Jack more than Ezador. Jesus. Yeah, I think that'll do for now, Jack. Thank you for your time.
I've killed a squirrel too, but I did that on purpose.
So, Gregor,
Yes.
same question for you.
Same question. So, well, it's got to be back when I was working with the Mad King Titan. Back when I was a soldier, they sent me on a scouting mission. I had Edgar Morrow with me, one of my old friends from the Church of Talos, and 5 others, some new recruits who was just breaking in. I was just wondering, trying to find out where the enemy's positions were. We got ambushed by a couple of mages and some barbarians, I believe. Unfortunately, I was knocked out at this point. I was taken by surprise. But as I awoke, my 5 recruits were dead, and Edgar was the only one standing, trying to wake me up, covered in blood. All of a sudden, some I think it was a dwarf, came behind him with an axe. Just before he could swing his axe down, I managed to get Edgar out the way, stumble this dwarf to the ground, and I strangled him. At this point, just literally adrenaline was running through my body at that point. It was literally to stay alive. As I was strangling this dwarf, as a life kind of left him, that was my first kill.
Yeah, that's
Rough.
How did you feel about that? Because obviously,
well, the way I was feeling at the time, I mean, I just lost 5 of my recruits. I got talking to them when I was out on the scouting mission. They seemed like a alright bunch. They were just talking about how they're going to do their year here, save enough money, move in with their new-founded wives, and like settle down, have a family. And to see them actually lying there dead, it struck a bit of a nerve with me. And then seeing Edgar trying to wake me up, and for someone coming behind him, just about to strike him down. I mean, I couldn't have that, losing another friend.
that's fair enough. I think I get that.
Yes,
bit rough,
I mean,
nonetheless.
it was
Very
war at the time as well. I mean, what I thought I was doing was right. I mean, taking down these resistance, whoever stood in our way, really. I mean, it was either me or them. That's how I see it. I mean, it was war, but after time went on, you start thinking about these things.
I don't think I have much more to ask. Killing someone.
I'm sorry if that got very dark, but
very personal way of killing someone. Jesus Christ.
Enough said.
It's the best. See the life drain from their eyes.
I'm
don't
not
think
too
I've
sure
thought
about
this,
that, no, Jack. I'm not too sure.
I don't think I thought this intro question through. Jesus, that wasn't
You
the
never do.
funny. That wasn't the funny, feel good fucking question I thought it would be. At least normally it's just like carnage in the background as I'm just like roll the credits. Now it's just like a tiny violin playing in the back as a bell tolls, and I'm just like,
The DM is thinking, what's the point of life?
yeah, pretty much.
Happiest day of my life, me killing my dad.
This is my point exactly. Okay, so last that we left you guys, you'd all managed to escape the Temple of Merkel. Well, most of you managed to escape the Temple of Merkel. A couple, unfortunately, were left behind, and Gregor had started mourning the loss of his friends and of Bimit. That evening, as he slept, he found himself transported to the weird in-between realm once more, where he conversed with Cyric. After a little bit of questioning from Cyric, he informed him that both Ragnarok and Ivik had unfortunately passed. And when questioned about what he would do next, Gregor almost demanded more power from Cyric. However, in response, Cyric instead offered to essentially draw more people into Gregor's quest, as too much power on one person could be a very bad recipe and increase the potential for disaster.
Oh, come
So,
on.
you're an angry, emotional dragonborn. More power is not what you need.
Good point.
Yeah. And Cyric saw that as well. So instead, he asked Gregor to essentially nominate 2 of the travelling party, the people that had been in the temple with him. He nominated Dix, the small forest gnome, as well as Ezador, the human, that he had found in the temple. Cyric set about trying to convince both of them to join Gregor in his quest, and he found it incredibly difficult to convince Dix to join him. Dix, having worked at a library for a long time, one of the most knowledgeable libraries, built into an actual tree itself, a tree of wisdom, knew quite a lot about Cyric, or as much as a mortal could know about Cyric. He knew that Cyric is a very tricksy god. He is full of double meanings, full of lies, essentially. So in the end, he agreed to help he agreed to help Gregor specifically. He made Cyric agree that Dix was not under his employ, not under his command. He didn't owe Cyric a thing. He was simply travelling with Gregor for the next 89, wasn't it, days? 3 months essentially?
87.
87, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just shy of 3 months essentially. He would be travelling with Gregor. But he would not, and I state again, he would not be under the employ of Cyric. He would have nothing to do with Cyric essentially. He would be travelling with Gregor for more knowledge. Cyric seemed to accept this, and he kind of poofed Dix back away from this realm. Dix woke up and promptly fell back asleep again. Back in the in-between realm, essentially, Cyric found a lot more luck with Ezador. Ezador, who also is on a constant pursuit of knowledge, realised that he could potentially use the god for his own devices. And after a little bit of bartering, after some deliberation, after some bartering with Cyric, he essentially convinced the god to not only tell him about the knife that he had found in the Temple of Death, but he also got Cyric to agree to answer 3 questions truthfully. And if Cyric didn't know the answer to these questions, he would allow Ezador to ask a little bit more. Not only this, but after Ezador commented that this area seemed a little bit familiar, Cyric informed Ezador that he had been here once before, and that the space that they were in was the realm between realms. Essentially a space where the dead could travel, or those who refused to die would linger. It was the domain where gods could interact with mortals, but not directly. And for one reason or another, Ezador had been here before. Before allowing Ezador to go back to his mortal form and sleep, Ezador did ask one more request after Cyric had tried and failed to convince Dix to join him with the promise of more power. Ezador asked if he could have some form of power that would allow him to, in some way, shape or form, control the minds of those around him. As this was such a specialised request, Cyric decided that it would take him at least one more night to figure out. Before he bid him adieu, he told Ezador that the next time he slept and awoke, he would find himself imbued with some sort of power, something that would help him get into the minds of others, or even just convince them. With that, Ezador fell asleep once more. Satisfied that he had finally found the team once more, essentially, Cyric had a very quick, brief discussion with Gregor, but after Gregor decided to get a little too personal, Cyric dismissed him. Sorry, Coogan, you're muted.
Am I? No.
Moving along. The next morning, the entire group awoke and they were about to set off, and they had a couple of hours spare, and because of this, Dix and Ezador, who had not been to Menol yet, and obviously could not be tied to the mining collapse, that a certain orc...
It wasn't too far away from it, though.
Well,
Nearly got pinned to it.
even so. Being the only 2 members of the expedition group that couldn't be directly tied to the collapse, Ezador and Dix wandered into the small settlement of Menol, mainly to get some alcohol for Raynor, but also just to scout out the area as well as get some food, as although Gregor had learnt a skill that would allow him to generate food and water for the group, it was bland and tasteless. And Amris, being accustomed to the finer things in life, wanted a little bit more. With Gregor pretty much just overlooking the town, the settlement, and in his own thoughts, the 2, Ezador and Dix, wandered into Menol and found themselves in the middle of a commotion quite quickly, as more and more people realised that the entryway to the Mithril mines had been blocked off by some sort of cave-in. narrowly avoiding suspicion despite not being involved himself, and narrowly pledging help towards them. Both Dix and Ezador kind of wandered away from the situation. Dix into a tavern and Ezador around the crowd once more. During this discussion, things finally twigged for Ezador. It wasn't the time that he was used to. Not even a week had passed, not a year, a month, a decade. Over 3 centuries had passed during his time in captivity. In fact, that kind of left him a little bit shaken. As this was happening, Dix had found himself in a tavern ran by a very odd, peculiar woman. One that was very insistent on him paying not only for the lights, but also for the wood that he had lit. Thankfully though, he managed to convince her to not only give him a drink, but to also give him some soup. And before he could really enjoy his meal, Ezador came crashing through, aghast at the revelation of how long he had been locked up for.
300 years!
Exactly. Before they left,
He said.
Before they left, though, they managed to procure a hefty amount of alcohol for Raynor, including a couple of bottles of basilisk venom. They made their way back to the group, and overjoyed, Raynor allowed, I believe it was Raynor allowed Ezador a bottle of the ale that he had got him, or of the mead, something along those lines. He allowed him to have some alcohol. The group continued travelling once more, setting off for the day as Amris would need some time to recover before he could teleport them away. And given their close proximity, not only to the small settlement of Menor, which, let's be honest here, could probably put 2 and 2 together and realise that Amris's group may have been responsible for the cave-in, as well as the avatar of Merkel, who was almost certainly still on their tail, they decided to head out. They travelled for almost the entire day before coming across a very small village. The rain began to slowly fall. Although the lights were on in this village, it did appear abandoned, of sorts. As they made their way into the centre to investigate, with the rest of the group hidden on the tree line, they discovered multiple blue lanterns lighting the way, as well as the normal lanterns. Before they could venture in too deep, though, fog and mist started to swirl around them as the sound of skittering slowly filled their ears. Realising that there was not much for them to do in this village and that they might be walking into a trap, the trio, along with Redmond, fled. However, upon reaching the outskirts of the village, only Gregor and Ezador remained. Dix had been dropped by Gregor, who had been carrying the gnome by his hat, and Redmond had just disappeared into the mist. Meanwhile, Dix, who had realised that he had been dropped as he was casting a spell, tried to clamber to safety in one of the shacks. However, sharp pain in his back signified he had been stung by whatever was nearby, felt himself grow rigid and fall to the side. Back on the outskirts, the remainder of the group, reconvened, and Gregor managed to convince Raynor to follow him back into the village. Raynor took a swig of his basilisk venom as a drink of courage, essentially, and Ezador also partook. Unfortunately for Ezador, though, basilisk venom, when consumed in high enough quantities, can freeze a victim, which is exactly what happened to him. So Gregor and Raynor ran into the village. Eventually, after some time after being split up, they managed to find their way back into the centre of the village again, the rain now heavily pouring down. As this had happened, Dix had woken up, suspended in midair, swinging ever so slightly, as hundreds of small spiders slowly advanced towards him, whilst in front of him lay a large humanoid spider type of hybrid, one that he recognised as a Choldrith. As the spiders advanced and the Choldrith exited, looking for more victims for its small spider children, Dix channeled all of his energy the energy that he had left. And the second the spider touched him, he unleashed a shocking grasp, obliterating around about a third of the creatures. Back on the outskirts, Ezador had decided to allow Jack to take over, but in doing so, he knocked a very important stone off. Although he was still drunk, Jack did have full freedom of movement, so he started clambering back into the village, finding Redmond's desiccated corpse as he did so. Eventually, the three groups converged in the centre and found their target, the Choldrith, as it dropped down onto Gregor before he could find Dix's still spun up body. A brutal battle ensued in the rain as Gregor, Raynor, and Ezador, or Jack, should I say, fought the Choldrith, fighting almost to a standstill as Dix continued trying to swing his way out of his cocoon. Finally seeing the cocoon form of Dix, forgot his name there. Finally seeing the cocoon form of Dix, Raynor launched his knife towards him, finally cutting him down and releasing the now infuriated forest gnome. As the three continued holding off the Choldrith, Dix ran underneath it, full of fury and with the shocking grasp that he had already charged up. He lay his hands on the Choldrith, and with the amount of rain that was falling onto him, it amplified his powers tenfold. Before the rest of the group knew what had happened, the torso upwards of the Choldrith exploded, and viscera rained down onto Dix, who slowly turned around just panting at the group. Alright guys, so yeah, you guys have literally just defeated the Choldrith. Dix, you now have your lovely hat back. And yeah, the rain is currently chucking it down as you're in the centre of this village. Slightly behind Dix is the shack that he was essentially cocooned in. Various bits of webbing are still on the floor and around the shack itself, and as you look around as the rain falls and more of it hits more almost invisible webbing, you can see that it covers the floor and numerous other shacks. The lanterns that are around you are still burning quite brightly. They're kind of protected. They're kind of like these almost stone style lanterns. It's like curved tops. The rain is running down off them and dropping off, which protects the flames. And you'd say that one of every 5 has this blue flame to it.
Right, I'm going to reach into my bag of holding. I'm going to bring out Dix's hat. And I just look at him and go, catch.
Thank you, Gregor. Pull that skin over my head. Oh, thank you. I thought I'd lost that.
No, I kept it safe for you.
I appreciate it.
All right. Anyway, I think we should go in case more of these spider things come back. Has anyone seen Redmond?
I haven't seen anybody.
Yes, I saw him.
Ah, you saw Redmond. Do you know where he is?
Yes. He's dead.
Ah.
Did you do it, big guy?
Why would I kill Redmond?
I mean, you seem pretty fixed on our little friend over there. He's pointing towards Dix.
Huh?
I'll take a bit of a look up at... Oh, Jack. Jack, is it?
Dix. Good bit of fighting.
That's not an invitation.
Good bit of fighting for a little one.
Thank you. It wasn't... I don't know what come over me there, but... I'd been trapped.
I like it.
Oh, you like...
Yeah.
Oh, well, good.
Hopefully see more of that coming out of you, little one?
I'll scurry off a bit.
Just gonna loom over him as well.
just as these...
Just in a corner.
Just as like little bits of slime just kind of like drip and fall off at the side of you with the rain hitting you.
Yes, anyway. Redmond. Yes, he dried up like a husk. Dead.
Ah, such a shame. Such a shame.
I suppose.
I quite like that human.
I'm going to go over to the spider corpse. Can I search it?
Yeah, what are you trying to do? Are you just straight up searching it, or are you trying to harvest or anything like that?
I'm going to search it, and if I don't find anything, I'm going to rip out its fang, if I can.
Alright. So roll me an investigation check to search it then, please.
Quick question. These temporary hit points from last session, have we still got those? Are they still under effect?
If you've not had them knocked off you, then yes, they are still under effect.
22.
22. Okay, let's figure out what this chap pet has on her body. Okay, give me 1 second.
%, yeah. I am going to lose picture. I'm on 3% now, so.
That's okay. We lose picture, we lose picture. Which sucks, but we'll
take a
figure
picture
it
of
out.
my beautiful face.
Use that. Please use that.
I'm just going to once it cuts out, yeah, I'm just going to crop that picture out and just have it as his permanent, like, player avatar, essentially.
I'll be Jack.
Okay, let's have... Oh, I found the fucker there. So, as you're searching through it, you're kind of, like, looking around, and you kind of reach underneath one of its armpits, and you find a large sack. You kind of, like, reach in and pull out, and as you do, you can see that it is kind of like this large orb. It's around about the size of what a football would be. It's kind of like drooping this weird, almost see-through viscous liquid. This black see-through liquid. It's black while it's on the orb, it's on the sack itself, but as it drops off, you can kind of see through it. You have managed to harvest a web sack.
Web sack.
A web sack. What else? What did you get? 22?
15, 20, yeah, 22.
Okay. Yeah, Jack, you're not exactly, despite having such a good roll, you're not exactly, gentle with it. You're Jack, of course not. So you tear off 2 spider legs.
Yeah.
2 large spider legs that, in a pinch, could be used as makeshift clubs. Otherwise, you might find some other uses for them.
Okay.
And did you say that you wanted the fang as well?
Yeah. Tear it apart. Take it a bit.
Yeah, with that roll, you kind of, after tearing 2 of these legs off, you see its kind of like weird, misshapen, mutated, elvish face with its 2 protruding fangs. You just grab one of them and just yank one straight off. So you also have 1 Choldrith fang.
What kind of fang, sorry?
Choldrith.
Choldrith fang.
CHOL DRITH.
Ah, always wanted one of these. Ha.
Upon the realization of me not having my dagger on me, I'm going to go and back to where I popped out of.
Yeah.
And see if I can locate it, taking a wide berth around Jack.
You kind of like almost sidestepping around him, but you managed to quite easily do that. You just dropped it, didn't you?
I dropped it inside the web itself, didn't I, as I was trying to cut my way out, so
Okay, yeah, you can see the kind of like webbing cocoon that you were previously in. The knife isn't immediately apparent there. There's a couple of small spiders still skittering around, but nowhere near as many as there was before you decimated most of their population.
so I can't see it.
You can see the webbing itself, but you can't immediately see it in the webbing. It might be in the webbing. It might have fallen elsewhere.
Well, I'll take a quick glance around on the floor first, and if not, then I'll try and reach up to the web.
The web's on the floor itself. Sorry, when you got
Okay.
cut down, the
web's come
entire
with
yeah.
Yeah, cocoon. All right, so I'll search the floor, including the webbing.
Yeah, roll me. Just roll me a straight up perception check then, please. I'm assuming you're not like feeling around on the webbing, you're just kind of glancing around.
I'll glance. If I don't see anything, I will feel around in the webbing. So that's a 19.
With a 19, you can see that, yeah. There is a little glint of your dagger just next to the webbing itself. You must have, when you dropped it, it must have kind of like bounced on the hill and just kind of like tumbled away slightly.
Okay, well, I'll pick it up and sheath it back on myself again. Dust myself off. And go. Right, I think I'm ready.
I'll just have a look around, see if there's any more spiders around, like just down the street, down each way.
There's a couple still, no larger than, you know, your average small house spider type of thing. If you're glancing around, you count no more than 10 of them.
Right.
They're all just kind of
not a
skittering
threat.
away. Not a threat, not moving towards you. Whereas before, they may have seemed to have been acting in unison. Whatever kind of thing there was bonding them together seems to have disappeared.
Right. I think we should be leaving now. I don't think there's much more in this village.
No, I agree. Let's proceed with caution.
Yeah, and stay together this time.
Please,
Stay
let's
together.
stay together. You dropped me, Gregor.
Actually, I grabbed your hat. I thought you were supposed to be stuck to it or something.
There's no attachment involved.
It's supposed to stick.
It doesn't stick. Believe me.
Well, I know that for future references now.
Please, Gregor, in the future, grab me from the torso.
Noted. Noted.
You'll have to toss me. I'm sorry, I know I've said that like 3 times in the last 2 sessions, but
Oh, it's brilliant.
The second you refer to like picking up Dix, it will always be the reference.
We're playing with a small character now, aren't we?
We are. Oh, any like, oh my god. Oh,
Don't
fucking
tell
hell.
Jack. Not a word.
Oh my god, I'm gonna have to set up a Helm's Deep scenario. I wasn't going to, but I'm going to have to now.
Oh, yeah. It would be brilliant, that.
Jesus Christ. Oh.
Okay, I'll just start leading. Just, I follow the blue lanterns, but, like, heading out.
Okay, so you're
going
kind
the
of heading
opposite
out.
direction from...
Okay. So as you are walking, and JB is moving, nice little trip around the room. As you guys are walking, yeah, these blue lanterns are quite sporadic, and as you seem to be kind of like, you've gone from the centre. And you are now passing into more of a kind of like an outskirts and exterior, essentially.
Do we still not hear any movement in the houses?
Roll me a perception, please. Anyone who wants to listen out.
Yeah, I'll take a check as well. I'm going to stick close. I'm going to stick close to Gregor, actually, all the way through this.
Not Jack,
12.
just Gregor. Yeah, 12?
8.
Can I use my eyes that can see in dim lights if it's bright?
You can, but this is more of a hearing-based type of one. Because as you're passing, you're listening to see if anything's happening in the houses.
Oh, right.
If you were to peek into the house, then yes, I would probably give you a bit of an advantage on that.
Well, I'll listen if everybody else is listening. So
Yeah, just straight up perception, and I'll roll. What do we call these?
6.
Yeah, so Jack and Dix, as you're walking along, Dix, you're still a little bit shaken up from what you've just been through, which is, understandable. You're kind of like glancing around to see if there's still any spiders nearby. Jack, your eyes are just kind of like just transfixed on Dix. She's just kind of
My
like...
hat's just over my eyes, so I can't see him.
Trailing behind
feel.
Gregor.
No eye penetration's going to be involved in this session.
No, but you can feel a gaze, a single eye gaze on you.
Tongue just gonna lick around all my face.
And I'll just peek up a little bit and make cap.
You can see this giant tongue just kind of like licking around. She's like, nope.
Give me some room. You do realise I'm rolling with disadvantage this session, right?
He'll use that to his advantage.
Oh yeah, you're a very
I'm
tired
still-
little gnome.
Yeah, I'm still rolling with
Very
disadvantage.
tired little gnome. Gregor, as they're walking along, you think that you hear a little, kind of like a thump nearby in one of the
Thump?
houses. A thump.
Can I work out where it is?
You know that it is one of the house. It's pretty much the house almost directly to your left. You are kind of
Right.
like in the last 3 or so houses in this street. So there's 2 houses on either side, then one more on the edge. The one on the edge, looks like it has pens of some sort, like some livestock pens. But that's not the one that you heard it from. It's the one next to that, so directly to your left.
I heard something, and I'm just going to walk straight towards that house.
So,
Follow.
are you following as well, Ezador?
Yeah, I was
Jack,
thinking
sorry.
Yes.
So the 3 of you are following. Raynor he hangs back a little bit. I'm gonna, you guys check this out. Let's be honest, we don't want to all be in a house and then some giant spider gets the drop on us, so I'll wait out here for you all. If I see
Good
anything,
point.
I'll give you a holler.
Nice. Right, I'm just going to knock on the door, just go boom, boom, just with my hand.
So you knock on quite a simple door. It looks like it is 1 or 2 slats of wood, not varnish or anything like that. It is literally just wood that fills a frame. The house itself looks decently put together, not massively old, but like the roof itself is made out of thatched straw. There's no slate, there's nothing like that. It looks quite poor essentially, which is what you gathered from most of this village. So as you hammer on the door, you give a quick... There's nothing, there's no response, but the door itself, after the 3rd hit, just kind of squeaks open. Whatever lock was on that door, whatever hinge, whatever catch, the banging of your big old dragonborn hand has kind of like busted it open.
Right, I'm just going to draw out my sun blade. Not have it activated, just the hilt, and then I'm just going to go, just get my leg up and just go boom, just boot it in.
As you lift your leg up and you hit it, there is a solid as you impact it. Water sprays off into your face a little bit as the door just kind of like kicks back off the hinges and just kind of like skids a little bit into the actual shack itself before falling backwards.
Maybe hit it a bit too hard there, but oh well. I just walk in, just say, hello? Is there anyone in here?
As you immediately walk in and you're talking, you don't see anything, you don't see anyone as such. The house itself looks freshly abandoned. There are a couple of webs in the corners, some in the corners on the floor, around, like kind of where the wall meets the floor. There is a hearth. The hearth itself is no longer burning, but the fact that there is slightly unburnt wood there would infer that it hasn't been... It was recently burnt, essentially. There's a couple of tables cupboards, essentially, I guess you'd call them, littered around the side, as well as a small circular table. There appears to be a door leading a little bit further back. But in this actual room itself, it looks lived in, but it looks like there is no one currently here.
Right, can I'll turn on my sunblade and have it on full capacity so the light reflecting off the blade is like about 30 foot.
This entire room is well lit. Now, it is almost like it is daytime in this room. And with that, you can see that there are a lot more webbing. There's a lot more webbing around this area than you thought. There's no spiders, but there is a lot of webbing just kind of like covering the edges of the ceiling, coming down onto the walls and into the floor. The table itself, one of the stools has been knocked over. It looks like whomever was here left in quite a hurry.
Right. I just go, if there's anyone in here, let themselves be known. And as I'm saying that, I'm going to walk over to the cupboards and I'm just going to look into the cupboards.
As you're saying this, roll me a perception check, please. Anyone else can roll a perception check as well if they want, if they're currently in the cabin.
Yeah. What is it?
A 13.
What is it, Gregor?
I just heard something,
in
this.
here?
Yes, I heard something in this house, and I thought it'll be worth trying to find survivors.
I got natural 1.
And that one. Oh.
I'm gonna grab these.
Two nat 1s in a row. That's what I got.
Oh my god.
The venom kicks in, and you're dead.
Not quite. However, yeah, Dix, you feel your your entire right side go numb.
Yeah, that's true.
As you're walking, you just like the venom kicks in again, and you feel your right side go numb. Your arm kind of like hangs limp, and your leg is just kind of dragging.
Gregor.
Yes, what is it?
I may need some assistance here. My right arm is gone again. I think it's the spiders.
Your leg is also now dragging behind you, as that is also.
Right.
Would you like another leg, little Dix?
No. Jack, it's fine. Gregor's got this.
Just before he says that, can I just grab him by like the back of his thing and just look at him, and then look at the bag of holding, and kind of just shove him halfway through the bag of holding.
I do not want to fall into this bag.
Are you sure you want to do this?
No. I'll just grab him and just like literally just grab him like a doll in a way, just like. Just have him like just down at the side, just still holding him, just dragging him about.
I'm going to untent my fingers.
Please never put me in that bag, Gregor.
What, a bag of holding?
You must know.
You should survive?
Do I know this is a bag of holding?
You do, but roll me an Arcana check, please. With advantage. I'm going to give you advantage on this because you are a very learned individual when it comes to stuff like this.
And I'm just going to get the 2 spider legs and go, are you sure, little Dix? I've got 2 spare legs here.
I'm okay. I'm okay with this. I'm okay, and I rolled a 25.
So you know that obviously, yes, that is definitely a bag of holding. And you know that a bag of holding essentially transports whatever is placed into it into another realm, into another dimension, essentially. And it is debated among scholars as to whether there is air in there or not. And you know that most living things that go into a bag of holding whole will not come out alive. They might for a very, very short amount of time, given their constitution and whatever, but the majority of things that have gone in there that are living come out no longer living. Not many living things have been placed in there half and half. However, the general consensus is that due to the construction of the bag, if you were to place something half in, you would quite easily be able to tighten the drawstring. And in doing so, you would separate that being in one realm and another. And for a living being, that is very, very bad.
You see, you must understand, Gregor. You must not put anything living into that bag.
Let's just look at the bag and just look at the door. But you'll fit easy.
I will fit, but I will not survive. You see, there's theories that there is no air in this bag. Do you know much
Your
about...
legs don't need to breathe, do they?
Do you know much about the bag of holding?
No, I just take a little bit of a deep sigh. I got this off one of my friends.
Roll me a
Right.
con save, please, for PTSD. Given that you're a war veteran, I might start doing PTSD rolls with you.
7.
As you say friend, you kind of like, you hear the chomping of the mimic. You hear Isaac's legs scuffing on the floor and falling, and you hear the blood kind of like squirting out of Rag's stump. So you kind of stare off a little bit.
Just kind of like just loosen my grip on Dix and kind of like just drop him onto the floor.
Gregor! Listen to me, you must not put anything alive in this bag. Inside that bag is not the same realm as us.
What? Yeah. Bag of holding
Bag of holding is
Bad.
like a different world.
for living creatures. All right. Yes. Yeah.
Never.
I got that.
Must you put a living creature in a bag of holding?
Yes, I got it.
It would be
Thank you,
it would
Dix.
be child's play.
Yes. Fine.
Are you okay there, Dragonborn?
Sorry, I just.
Oh.
I'm good now. I just straighten myself up, just take a deep breath. Just. Yes, I'm good. Yeah, and I'm just gonna continue looking into the cabinets. I'm looking for seasoning.
Gregor!
Seasoning?
Yeah, like herbs or anything like that.
Don't worry, little Dix. I'll help
Gregor!
you. Can I pick him up?
I'm gonna limping over towards Gregor.
I want Dix to roll me a dex check. No, Dix to roll me an agility check, sorry. And...
Not
as-
agility, what units? Some athletics?
No, acrobatics. Do you mean?
No, I do mean athletics then. Sorry. Once again, I am mixing game worlds
Right.
together. Just as a quick little cutaway.
5
Yes.
for me then.
I was going to say, just as a little cutaway, agility might be a little bit of a hint towards one of our one-shots that we'll be doing at some point.
Segway.
Someone might have been immersing himself back in the rules that he's creating. What was that in athletics, sorry?
5.
5, and Ezador, I need you to roll me just straight up dex check.
Oh, it's good.
Oh god.
Well, 19 then.
Okay, so this is how it's happening. Gregor, as you're kind of like pouring through this cabinet, there's a couple of empty bottles, but hidden at the back there is a small book. As you are doing this, in the background there is Dix just kind of like on his left arm and like just kind of crawling towards you as fast as you can, as Jack, big slimy tentacle, as it's dripping down onto the floor, reaches over slowly, wraps its way around Dix and lifts him up.
No.
Hey, Glenn, you dropped something.
Face to face, I'm gonna now. You listen to me now. Put me down.
But you can't move.
I don't care. Put me down.
Oh, nonsense, little Dix. You'll be fine. I'm going to pat his head.
This gloop is starting to go into your hat.
I would like to cast Presti, right, to slam the door we've just come through, closed, and do you think try and snuff out all light in the room. I know that's coming from... Actually, fuck that. Slam the door and light the fire that was once lit next to me.
Okay.
But I want to try and use this with a little bit of intimidation as well.
Despite the fact that you got disadvantage because of your exhaustion, I'm going to let you roll intimidation with advantage because I like that. And you're just you're fucking done at this point. So
With
yeah, you
one more phrase of "put me down."
The second you hear down, there's a as the door slams and as the logs just ignite themselves into the hearth and just a sudden as the flames ignite, casting the room in an odd orange glow.
Then that's a 15 on intimidation.
As Jack, roll me a straight up con save, I guess. Then try to hold your own together.
7.
Something about the small little gnome who has been through so much, but is still managing to look you, Jack, in the eye, the singular eye, and demand that you put him down. You're just like, there might be more power in this gnome than I thought.
You know, little Dix, there's a lot of power in you. I'll just put you down there. I'll just put him down. But I'll just tap his head again.
Do I hear this? Do I hear this?
My jacket again.
Yeah, Dix, you are.
And limp slowly over to Gregor again.
I was only trying
That'll be the last time you pick me up.
I was only trying to help, Dix.
Dix, you
I
now
do not
have,
need your help.
after that surge of adrenaline, you have the feeling back in your arm. Your right leg is still kind of dragging a bit behind you, but you can pretty much walk. You're not like crawling anymore.
Okay. In fact, I don't need... feel like I don't need to shadow under Gregor anymore. I'm just going to pace the room freely until Gregor's done.
You say pace the
Yeah, as
room,
I'm
you
looking
mean
for
drag your
the
foot
thingies,
around.
I hear this commotion behind me. I just go, "You right, Dix?" Just looking through.
I'm fine.
Good.
Yeah, like I said, the main thing that you find is this small little book at the back. It looks... the way that it's been kind of shoved in there, it looks like it has been shoved in recently, and it's an attempt to kind of like hide something.
Oh, okay. I'll reach for the book. Can I read what's on front of it?
There's nothing in front of it. It's a small cloth-bound book. It looks like it has been kept in good condition, but there's a little bit of minor damage to the front, like a little, what could potentially be claw marks, essentially, as if it has been attacked. Additionally, as you're kind of like flicking through quickly, if you are flicking through, a couple of the pages are damp and torn.
Alright. I just go, "Dix, you like books, don't you?"
I do, yes.
I just hand it straight down to him, the book.
I'll reach up, grab the book.
Yeah, you now have this slightly damp, slightly damaged book.
And now I'm a bookworm.
What?
Now I'm a bookworm. I mean it.
Oh, okay.
Can I look over his shoulder and read the book too?
I don't know. Can Jack read a book? Is the question.
That is a good point. Well, I'm just going to do the action anyway, see if we see pictures or something.
Okay, so Dix, as you are flicking through, we start at the front, and a lot of it is, it looks like this book has been written by a small child. It looks like a diary of sorts, essentially. A lot of it is just the general day-to-day type of musings as a small child, as they are finding their way in the world. There's a couple of references to failed harvests, a couple to their parents, specifically their father.
"Mummy and Daddy have been fighting again.
Well, I mean, there's a couple that's a little bit like that, to be fair.
Mummy came back with a black eye and a broken arm."
Nothing quite as bad as that. Just your general trials and tribulations of a farmyard village. Nothing too untoward. Nothing too untoward. However, Dix, you find an entry dated 3 weeks ago that catches your eye for a little bit, for a reason. 3 weeks ago, There was another raid last night by the goblins and their rats. I've never seen either of them before, but Papa says that their rats are far bigger than the ones that we see in the fields. They hit Mr. Galarski's pen. Nary a sheep left there now. Poor man. First his wife, now his sheep. They seem to be getting more and more bold. Another entry, dated the same week a couple of days later. Papa says an odd man passed into the village today, holding some weird umbrella and wearing dark lenses. Staying with Mr. Galarski. Same week, a couple of days later, as you're kind of flicking through the book. That strange man called people into the centre today. Said he had some business for us. Mr. Galarski had told him about the raid, so this man said he could help. I don't trust him. His voice sounded weird. Real friendly like syrup, but cold. None of the grown-ups noticed, but I did. And the smell, like rotten burnt wood. All of the adults had a meeting today, and agreed to give him the gold he requested. And now he's gone. You continue flicking through?
Yeah.
The next page. Still dated 3 weeks ago, but a day afterwards. I found out what that umbrella was called. A parasol. Next entry, dated 2 weeks ago. Been a few days since that man returned. Had a bunch of lanterns that burn blue flames. Not sure what they do. How can a lantern drive off goblins and the like? Another page, dated a week ago. The attacks have stopped. Not sure if it is the lanterns, but no attacks since we lit them. More general entries. But another one from a week ago. Mr. Galarski's gone missing. Not been seen for days. But there's been a lot of spiders and webs around his house. We can hear the scratching at night. Couple more pages, complaining more and more about the scratching. More and more about random villagers going missing. About cattle disappearing, and how, although the goblins have gone, they seem to be finding more and more house spiders everywhere. And then the last entry, about midway through the book. It was dated the previous night. Even with the lanterns, the scratching keeps happening at night. More and more livestock have gone missing. Bez won't stop crying in a field. Papa went out to soothe her and he's not come back yet. Why is there so much scratching?
This just doesn't make any sense.
What is it, little Dix?
Well, it appears this village has been pillaged, attacked many times. First, well, judging by this is a diary from a small child. Judging the first time, it's been by goblins. These blue lanterns outside were meant to deflect the goblins, prevent them from attacking, and it appears they have worked.
Yes, I haven't seen any goblins.
There's no goblins. People have been going missing after. Cattle dying. There's a strange... This diary says there was a strange man that brought these blue lanterns and asking for gold. But this man has gone missing. And other people too. Scratching noises. It's probably these spiders.
Yes, that would...
First goblins and rats, and now spiders. Doesn't make any sense.
I'm just like pretending to listen and going, very strange. Then I'm chucking bottles out of the cabinet.
What doesn't make sense is, where are the villagers now? Can't all be dead. Can
Well,
they?
it wouldn't be a surprise, would it? Look what's happened to us tonight. If that was a group of people that couldn't defend themselves, then I'd say it's fairly easy for them to have all perished.
Well, you know what that means then, don't you? means these houses are free for the picking. I'm gonna turn round, and is there an upstairs?
No, but there is an extra door going towards the back.
Right, I'm gonna hurriedly go through it then to try and raid and see what I can.
I want you to roll me a perception, please. Alright, so Jack, what did you get on your perception?
Oh, yeah. 15. 15, yeah.
15, so yeah, you're not exactly delicate about opening this door. You open it with a heavy... And as you do, it almost kind of like shakes the foundation of the room. Bit of dust falls, and you hear like a... like a little yelp.
Ah! Ah! Who's me?
It seemed to be coming from the corner of the room, but there doesn't appear to be anything in the corner of the room. The room itself, it is a simple 2-room type of shack. The room itself has one large bed in the center against the wall, and opposite it is a small kind of like half-sized bed pressed against the wall. There seems to be another cabinet that probably contains clothes, but the actual sound itself seems to be coming from the corner between the wall and the double bed.
Did I hear the sound, or...
Can I flip the bed up?
You can flip the bed up. Gregor, you can roll me a perception check with disadvantage because you're in the other room.
Yeah.
I'm just going to follow.
Are you following
Jack?
Yeah. Roll me a normal perception check then, please.
That's a 13. I had a nat 20 on the other one.
5 for me.
Dix, you hear nothing because Jack is flipped to bed. It's just like as it lands and splinters everywhere. There's nothing underneath the bed. Gregor, you think you can hear something other than Ezador and Dix.
Jack? Is there something in there?
Yeah, sorry, other than Jack and Dix.
I don't know. I heard him there. I'll soon find out though, because I want to open the cabinets, and I just want to search the room, but trash it at the same time.
As you reach towards the cabinets, you can grab the doors, you kind of tear them off, and you're presented with some clothes.
I'm gonna
They seem
throw
relatively
them.
nice.
I'm gonna throw them away. Just throw them.
It's like kind of like spinning behind you.
Clothes.
Dix, they narrowly avoid you as like some breeches fly by, a linen shirt goes by, a nice dress flies over the top of your head.
Just covered.
Yeah. Jack, you turn around and Dix is now in a really fetching outfit.
Well, I think I could get used to this.
You look different, Deeks. What's going on?
That's stunning, don't you think?
What should be a summer dress is like a ball gown on Dix.
Yeah.
I think it's a bit big for you, isn't it?
Why, yes, but I can still do something with the fabric.
I just let off a big laugh.
Gregor, maybe can you put this in your bag of holding?
No, I'll just grab it. I'll just grab this dress and just shove it in my bag of holding.
Yeah, it looks to be... Hang on. There we go. I shouldn't talk while I'm opening the can. Can't edit that fucker out. It looks to be quite a decent dress. It looks to, like I said, a summer dress belonging to a child. Strangely enough for, what you would assume to be poorish farmers, it is actually dyed yellow, which, not too common around these parts. So yeah, you find yourself a nice little summer dress.
Lovely, let's add that into my thingy.
Is the cabinet empty?
As you're chucking more and more clothes out and they're just still narrowly missing people, yeah, you can just see the back of the cabinet now.
Right, I just want to like hurl it to the side then so it falls over.
As you hurl it to the side, you hear another as the wood shatters against the wall and just clanks to the floor. Everyone roll a perception check again, please.
13.
Oh no, it's perception. Sorry. So
Yes, please.
19.
Perception, was it?
Yes, please.
13.
So Dix and Gregor, you both hear another kind of like a whimper again coming from the corner of the room.
Okay.
Jack, however, you know that not only is it coming from the corner of the room, it's coming from underneath the floor.
Can I whip round super fast directly at where I heard the sound? I definitely heard it that time. I think
You're snooping towards it.
Yeah. Who's whelping? Show yourself.
You hear kind of like soft sobbing.
I take it, what, is he under the bed I'm hearing?
No, it's underneath the floorboards that you're hearing.
Alright. Well, can I get to right where it is and hear the whimpering?
Yeah.
Just start banging on the floor and I go, get up here!
You're shouting at it, there's just full-on proper hysterics now. Whoever is underneath here has lost their composure.
Get up!
Jack!
Get up here!
Jack, calm down!
There's whimpering under here, and you won't get up! Get up! Get up, I hear you!
Still just more sobbing.
Jack! Be calm. Nothing's going to want to come up there with all of that banging, is it?
Why, you're hiding and whimpering. It's no good.
Just give me a moment. Can I head off to the corner where he is?
Yeah.
In a soft tone, I'm gonna go, we mean you no harm? Is there anybody down there?
Roll me a persuasion check. Not with disadvantage, just a straight up normal persuasion check.
5.
Just still sobbing.
You either get up here now, or I'll burn this house down with you in it!
Jack!
What?
Rip that floorboard up. Let's see who's underneath.
Do you think that's wise, having him rip up the floorboard and for the whatever this thing is to see Jack?
Just rip it up, and I will stand there and let my face be the first thing he or she sees.
I will with hang on, let me just check what I'll go on then, I'll just try and rip the floorboard up.
Yeah, roll me a straight up strength check then, please. With advantage, because it's just pulling up a floorboard, isn't it?
Oh, natural 20.
Hey.
With alarming ease and with alarming motion, Jack kind of like flexes his hands up and a little bit of the glue just kind of drops off, slams it down onto the floorboards, and Dix, you can see his like gloopy form kind of like almost fin and reach into the floorboards, and he pulls back. It's almost like this thin part has wrapped underneath, solidified, and you just hear it as he rips the floorboard up.
Can I see anybody underneath? Well done, Jack.
Underneath, you can see, kind of like crouched down in a really tiny, scared position, is what looks to be a small girl. She is, even in her crouched form, she's very small. She looks like she's got blonde hair, but from the evening of hiding, it has become dirty with dirt, I guess, with mud, with dust and everything, and it's become a little bit frayed. You can't really see too much, but the little bits of skin that you can see is plastered in mud.
Can I just, as I see this child in, I'll just reach my hand down and just grab like the scruff of her dress and just lift her up.
You, unfortunately, was behind Jack and...
Oh, was I? Alright.
Yeah. So at the moment, there is Jack that's kind of like leant over with this floorboards, to kind of like victorious, fucking waving these broken floorboards around. And there's Dix leant over.
It's Gregor, let me handle this. Let me handle.
Alright.
Are you okay there, madam?
Kind of like lowers her hands a little bit. You can see that she's got some very simple clothing on, simple cloth essentially, which, like the rest of her, has been stained due to this night's events. As she looks up, oh, are they gone, sir?
Who gone?
The spiders, they were everywhere.
The spiders have gone. Yes, you are safe here.
No, I don't
We
think-
trust us. We mean you no harm. We will keep you protected.
I don't
I'll
think I'm
offer-
safe, sir. Do you know where my papa is? He went out hours ago.
Probably dead.
I don't. Jack.
Oh no, he's
Well, this bores me. And then I'm just gonna ponder around the room.
just you hear slur. You're as Jack squelches around the room.
Listen.
I take his place where Jack was, and then looking at this child.
Listen. I don't know where your papa is.
Dead.
But we mean you no harm. We've simply strolled through this village, and this is what we've found so far.
Ah, it's a
where-
girl.
Where is everyone?
I don't know.
Then why are you down here?
I heard the scratching again. It's been going like every night for the last couple of weeks.
Do you hear it now?
No good, sir. I don't know. It's quiet. I just hear the rain.
Because we took care of it. I just reach down with my hand and just gonna grab her and just pull her out.
You just kind of yank this petrified small girl up. As you lift this small child out and you look into her face, you can see that she's around about no more than 4 foot-ish, so she's quite small. She can't be any much older than about 11 or 12-ish. Her face is kind of a little bit chubby, she's not really grown into it yet, and her eyes are just bloodshot from stress, lack of sleep, and crying. And her face, like her hair and her clothing, is just plastered in mud.
Right, can I'll just set her down and just go, oh, does she look cold or anything like that?
She's shivering and she looks a bit kind of withdrawn. But you're not sure if that's due to the cold, due to the rain, or because, she's been hiding in the, foundation of her house for God knows how long.
Right, I'm just gonna reach into my backpack. It's like, you look cold, young one. I just bring out a blanket and just wrap her around it.
So she kind of grabs the blanket and pulls it around tightly. Thank you, sir.
So what happened here? Was it these spiders that just overtook your village?
At the beginning it weren't, no. Our village for a long time now has been plagued really by goblins. I don't know if you've ever come across them, sir. They're quite vicious little buggers, Pa always said.
I just think back to when Ivok bludgeoningly killed the goblins. It's like, yes, I've come across them before.
They ain't much harm really, sir, to most of us at least, but they take away our cattle and our livestock and whatnot, and they normally have big old rats with them. Pa said that they're really big and we don't want to come across them, so quite often we just hide in our houses. But my neighbour she looks a bit forgetful for a second, like she's kind of zoned out for a minute or so. He had sheep and whatnot, sir, and goblins got them quite a lot. But a few weeks ago, a strange man came into the town. He had this parasol, I think he called it, like an umbrella, but for the daytime it's to help with the sun. He had one of those on and some dark lenses, couldn't see his eyes. He said he stayed with Mr. Galaski, our neighbour, and after a while Mr. Galaski told him all. I mean, of course he would, you have a house, yes, you're going to tell him all about what's happened and whatnot, and told him about what had happened, and strange man. I didn't like him, sir. He smelled weird, like burning.
And he brought these blue
rotten.
lanterns, correct?
He did, yeah. How did you know that, Mike?
I look at Dix and it's like, do I click on about the diary?
Roll me a straight up
History.
roll me a straight up. Wisdom check, please.
Well, I was just going to say, I found your diary.
As you're thinking as to whether or not you realise that, yeah, it comes out with that. My diary, sir. I thought it was gone. I thought it was done for, sir. So I hid it in the cupboard. Can I have it back by any chance, please? That's my recording, you know.
No.
What? When I'm got power, I always said that when we're gone, the only things we have left are our words, even letters or.
Have I read all the contents of this diary?
You've read everything that's of interest to you.
Okay, so yeah, of course.
I was gonna say the rest is just
the diary.
I was gonna say the rest is just the musings of a 12-year-old, essentially.
Yeah.
So she kind of like kind of like cautiously reaches out a very small hand and just kind of grabs the diary and pulls it back and just kind of hugs it close to her. My pa gave this to me on my last birthday a couple of months ago.
Well, that is very nice of him.
He's a very nice man.
Was.
Perhaps you should, Jack. Perhaps you should accompany us for now.
That'd be alright, sir. I don't want to be an imposition.
It's not safe for you here.
It's fine. I just give her a tap on the head.
Okay, sir. She kind of like, as you're tapping her head. Okay,
Roll
sir.
for
If
damage.
it's... I'm not going to have you damage a 12-year-old straight away. Fuck off. Fucking hell. Let her have more than an introduction before you kill her.
Christ. I tell you what, we'll take you to the next village and we'll see if we can find your dad. How does that sound?
I appreciate it, sir, but Papa won't be in the next village. He'll be in the field out back if he's anywhere.
I know,
He was
but
checking Bessie.
we've checked around this place and it seems like there's no one around. So I think we should go to the next village and then hopefully they'll have some people that will help search for your father.
If you say so, sir. More and more people kept on going missing before tonight, that is, at least, so... I don't know, maybe Pa tried to go find them.
Did we check the field? Not that I care.
We haven't checked any fields tonight.
Do you want to?
Maybe we should.
I suggest we head back and find the rest of our party and we move forward from there with a group consensus.
Yeah, you got a good point there, Dix. Alright, you're coming with us. We're gonna meet up with our friends. Is that alright?
I suppose so, sir. I guess I haven't really got a choice. If Pa's not here
Can you
anymore,
walk?
then- Oh yes, sir. I'm quite good at walking. And she kind of brightens up a little bit at that.
Stay with Dix.
Have I still got a limp though?
A slight limp. It's not really much that's going to affect you too much. It's just
I can
You-
walk now though, yeah.
yeah. You're now walking. You're walking at the pace of a small child. Ironically.
May I make a suggestion?
Yes.
Maybe we should grab one of these blue lanterns outside and carry them with us.
No, sir. You shouldn't do that.
Why is that?
The spiders started coming not long after the lanterns were put in. The goblin attack stopped, sure, but we started hearing scritching and scratching. We started seeing more and more webbing every day, and within a week of the lanterns going up, we were told that we should never turn the lanterns off. We want to stay protected from the goblins. And within a week of them being lit, our
This
cattle started
seems
going.
awfully suspicious to me.
I think that the man, the dark lensed parasol man, I think he had something to do with this. I don't know why he would try and condemn our village like this. We never did aught to him. We gave him all of our gold. But he put these lanterns in and he condemned us, sir, to death.
Don't worry, little one. We'll sort it.
Then may I suggest grabbing some wood from the fire as a source of light for us?
Who needs light when I've got my sunblade?
Well, you do, Gregor. Yes, you do. Jack?
What?
That was almost like a, you do, Gregor. Yes, you do.
What?
Let's grab one of these pieces of firewood and light up the way.
Well, can you not see in dim light, little one?
I can, but it's better if it's lit, isn't it? And if any more spiders come, from my experience, they don't like fire.
Oh, well. I won't argue with a plan that involves fire.
I will do that then. I will get wood from the fire that's lit.
Slurpy tentacle just kind of reaches around.
As I go outside, can I look at one of the blue lanterns and just with the hilt of my sunblade just smash one of them?
Roll me a strength check, please.
Would you like a stick of fire, little Dick?
Yes, please, Jack.
There you go.
Thank you, with my crooked hand.
Your crooked hand
13.
grabs it and is very slimy.
Oh, let's hope it's flammable.
With a 13, yeah, it doesn't shatter or it kind of cracks down the middle and then just falls to the floor. The flame stops
Yeah, okay.
burning.
As we're walking by, can I, every time we walk by a blue lantern, can I just smash one?
I'm just going to ask you to roll me just a straight up d20.
Oh.
How many of the blue lanterns can we see from the outside right now?
Directly in your field of view, there's about 3 of them. You would say probably 1 in every 8 lanterns are blue.
Well, if after Gregor's done this, then can I try and use Presty again to try and snuff out the flames, if it is flames,
You can.
of all of the ones that I see in my path?
6. I rolled anyway.
Kind of dink off the next one. Presty, you say, let me just check something.
Basically up to a small campfire I can snuff out with that.
Yeah, I just need to double check. As you try and snuff them out, all the other lanterns turn off, but the blue lanterns are the only ones that remain lit.
It appears they need destroying with force. Gregor, you were right.
So I made a dink on the first one, and I'm just going to go just a bit harder this time.
Just before we take our break, roll me one more strength check, please.
Hey, that's better. 19.
The second one just kind of explodes almost as you smash into it. As the rubble kind of flies up and drops down, the flame extinguishes. You all start heading back out into the village.
As we're going past these blue lights, I'm not going to stop until they're destroyed, basically.
Just roll me a straight up strength check then. We'll do it. We'll just do one strength check for all of them. See how many you manage to smash up.
That is 15.
So as you're kind of leading throughout the village, whenever you're passing one of these lanterns, you're smashing it as you go by quite easily as the embers tumble to the floor and the flames go out. As you're doing so, Raynor is being caught up basically on the events inside the house. He's being introduced to the small girl and basically told that you guys are going to look after her for a little while. And as you are doing that and he is following along, yeah, you kind of reach the last lantern and give me one more strength check, please. Yes, you are now almost back to where you began your sojourn, essentially, into this.
11.
11. So as you walk out and you raise your, the hilt of your sunblade to smash the last one on the very outskirts of the village, as you look up and you can see Amrius and everyone just kind of crouched in the tree line, it cracks the top of the lantern, and the lantern kind of almost falls apart, but it just remains intact.
I'm just going to give it another bash.
Roll me another strength check, please.
Even worse. 6.
Your hill kind of like gets wedged in the crack a little bit.
I pull out, but as I do, I'm going to try and just break it as I do.
You'd manage it, but this blue flame kind of like catches on your hand and spreads up your arm a little bit. It's like,
Just try and pat it out with my damp arm. There, with my damp hand.
Are they within reach? Not of me, of course, but of the normal humanoid.
say that again, who are within reach of you?
Are the lanterns within reach?
Yeah. They're
Yeah.
pretty much almost like floor lanterns.
Why, Gregor, why don't you try and pick one up and smash it on the ground?
I was going to say, was this the last one?
That is the last one.
Well, thanks for telling me that now. Just try and pat this
Well, I
flame out.
like people to make their own decisions.
Just serious faced again as you're walking. You've noticed that the mist has pretty much cleared from this village now. And yeah, there is no lights at all. At least from the outside. There's one or two shack lights still on. But there's no blue lights at least, and there's no exterior lanterns.
Can I turn to the little girl and say, "What's your name, little one?"
Good question. I should have memorized it by now. She kind of looks up at you, and she seems to have calmed down is the wrong term as such. She's not sobbing anymore, but she seems a bit drawn into herself. She looks up at you. My name is Mila.
Mila.
Yes.
Such
How
a
about
nice
yours,
name.
sir? What's your name?
I am Gregor. This is Dix. And that big chap that you see there, he's called Jax.
No, it's awfully nice to. It's awfully nice to meet you all.
Just without saying another word, I'm just going to reach into my bag of tricks and I'm going to roll out one of these little fireballs things.
Yeah, roll your dice.
Lovely. D8. I roll a 2 and that turns into a giant rat.
She's gonna freak.
It turns into a giant rat. She yelps, seems to rise a foot off the floor, and scarpers backwards behind Dix. She's cowering behind Dix at this point.
It's okay, little one.
Is he with the goblets?
No, he's not. You see, he has the little bag of tricks that he can bring animals out from, and it's...
Yeah, can I reach down my arm? I just see this giant rat just scurry up my arm and I'm just
Kind
stroking
of wears
it.
that on your arm. It's massive. It's a giant
Oh,
rat.
is it massive, is it?
It's a giant rat. It's like the size of a dog.
Oh, fair. I'll just give it a little, scruff around the ears and, just letting it know it's okay.
Bares its fangs slightly, but not in an aggressive way, in a happy way. But to someone who doesn't know rats, it's just baring its fangs. So again, you hear like, and scampers a little bit behind
It is
Dix
friendly,
again.
my dear. It is friendly. Do not worry.
I'd rather not go near her if that's okay.
That's fine. You stick with me.
Okay.
Let us go find... Gregor, Jack, we need to go and find the rest of the group. I think it's important now.
Yes, okay. Can I just look at the rat?
You can.
And just, I just tell it, could you go find some herbs for me? Anything yum.
Anything yum.
Yes, exactly. It's very hard to describe herbs to a rat.
The rat tilts its head, scrunches its nose, and then just runs off into the darkness. Raynor is still following up the rear as this giant rat just runs past him, just like, oh, what the fuck was that? It's a rat! Kill it.
That's mine.
I'm gonna kill it. He's kind of pulling back the drawstring on his bow, aiming for the rat, as you're saying it's your rat.
Don't!
But it needs to die.
If you kill it, it'll just pop, it will just disappear.
That's no fun. Fucking spoil. But yeah, you are now on the very outskirts of the village itself. If you look around in the tree line, you can see the rest of the group. There is Amrius, there is Ebchar, and there is Fu at this point. There's only 3 other people left.
Amrius!
What the hell have you been doing all this time?
Amrius kind of walks down. I do not know if you remember, Dix. However, I told Gregor that he was welcome to check out the village if he wished. However, given the outcomes of our expedition already, I deigned to remain behind as it was not pertinent to us getting home. Gregor investigated because he wished to. You followed Gregor, and Ezador over there followed Gregor, along with Let's deal with that in a second. Along with Redmond, because you deigned to. I deigned to remain behind. Fu elected to protect myself and Ebchar.
Yes, great commentary there. It's nice to know your team is behind you when you need them.
I already told
I'll
you.
Shrug off and walk away at that point.
As you walk away, you hear him shouting afterwards. I already told you, Dix, that we deigned to stay behind. Moving along was your choice, whether it be wise or foolish.
Spit on the floor.
Don't mind him. He just got attacked by a big spider.
I am very well happy that we did not venture into that village then. I trust all is okay now.
We do have some sad news, I'm afraid.
He kind of looks around and noticing that Richmond isn't along with you.
Redmond.
Redmond, not Richmond. That shows how forgettable he was, doesn't it?
Trod on a piece of Lego. Ooh, it went right in the heel.
Fuck off. I assume this is to do with Redmond.
Yes, unfortunately, he got... Well, as we wandered into the village, we all got separated, and as we went back into the village to try and find Dix and Redmond, Jack found Redmond.
I'll just
Jack?
come out with it, Gregor. Redmond is dead.
He deigned to die.
I just stay silent out of that. It's like, there's your answer.
Amrius takes like a small intake of breath, and he hangs his head down very slightly for a moment. That is sad news. He was a nuisance and a pest. However, he had the best of intentions. He was very enthusiastic. Did he at least die a good death, a painless death, would you say?
Oh no. He was dried up like a husk, like a log, long decayed, decomposed, brittle, like flaky to the touch.
I must say, Ezador, you seem awfully different at the moment.
Looked very painful.
That's incredibly bad news. Do you know where his body is, so that we can at least give him a proper burial? Or
I just turned to Jack.
Yes, it's in the village, but you deign not go in there.
Is the village still full of danger, as it were, or is it? Okay.
Yes, it is full of dangers. And let me just ask this question. How long have you been on this expedition? In fact, I know how long you've been on this expedition.
Do you? How long? How long have you been on?
Not very long at all. And already, you have lost 3 party members.
He kind of, see his hands kind of clutch into a bit of a fist. I will have you know, little gnome, that we have been on this expedition for weeks. The ones who were undertaking this expedition knew of the risks. That is why they were being so highly paid.
Yes,
Do
but
not
may
judge
I
their
have-
actions against myself, lest you remember that you would still be in an undersized cage if it was not for myself and Gregor's actions.
Yes, and I appreciate that. However, may I say, if maybe the group would stick together a little more, then maybe we wouldn't all be dropping like flies.
The group was together, Dix. When 2 of our members fell, the group was together when the dragon fell. Being together or not does not seem to matter on this. I elected to keep myself and my son out of any further danger. You elected to put yourself in further danger.
Oh, yes, because no one else was.
We could have avoided this village, and what would have been lost? Certainly not Redmond's life. What have you gained from venturing into this abandoned village?
I don't think it was
Can
my idea.
I turn and just look behind Dix?
This small little child just kind of like pops her head out.
This, right here, I would say at least is worthwhile as going into this village.
I just turn to Amrius and just like whisper, "We found her in one of the houses, just hiding underneath the floors."
His face kind of softens a little bit. That is unfortunate. I suppose if you
Is
hadn't
it?
have ventured into this village, then you would not have found her. However, Dix, that does not make myself or Ebshar any less. We did not wish to go in, as we saw no benefit to going in. Tell me, how did Redmond die? Was it on your watch, or was he left alone? Because if he was left alone when he was under the care of you three, then he was your responsibility. Not mine.
Excuse me? He
You were
is not
hired.
I was not hired.
You were hired, you agreed around about 3 episodes ago, so yesterday, you agreed to take the place, you and Ezador. He kind of looks at Jack at this point with his like gloopy form just going around just like, "Argh." Just pretty much going, oop, in the
I'm
background, I'm
smiling. I'm
assuming.
loving it.
You're just kind of like, oh, in the background as this is happening. I will deal with that later. We both agreed to accompany us to replace the 2 bodyguards that we had lost.
That is not the agreement I agreed to.
I will... Meta for a second. Are you genuinely saying that as
I'm genuinely
JB? Are
saying
you
that,
saying
yes.
that as... That's wrong. You agreed in that session to take the place of the bodyguards.
He was in
You-
I don't think I did. I think I would agree to accompany on this mission,
Nope.
but not as a bodyguard.
Nope, I asked if you wanted to take the place
I
of
remember,
Ragnarok and Ivor. I specifically used that kind of like term for it
Who's all in
to
the cages,
replace
yeah, I
our
remember
current
that.
bodyguards. We are currently 2 bodyguards down. We need to replenish our numbers. Would you like to join us? Along those type of lines.
Yes, and I was under the impression I joined, but not as a bodyguard.
You never said not as a bodyguard. You agreed to join the group as in Gregor and Ezador,
It's
but
Cyric
not
you
as a...
refused.
Yeah, you
That's what
refused
you're getting
Cyric,
confused about.
not Amrius. You agreed with Amrius because when you first met, you were on very good terms with him, but you
I
refused
remember
Cyric.
refusing for Cyric as well. I just
Not
I
as
didn't-
well.
I just didn't quite. I just don't think I put those in those words as a bodyguard. As
You
more of an
agree-
accompaniment.
Nope,
Or
you
the words
agree-
that you chose maybe didn't mention the words bodyguard.
I'm positive it did,
He
and I
pretty
will go
much
back.
did, yeah. I think.
The only way that you can say nope, not as a bodyguard, is if Dix, just didn't see it as that. However, the wording that I specifically used was very clear on being a bodyguard.
Well, I as a person was didn't think that I was on this party as a bodyguard.
I'm not sure how
Therefore-
because I used the term bodyguard.
Well, I've accepted it under a different premise then.
That's not my issue as the DM. That's your issue as a player for misinterpreting.
I'm
sorry, I'm going to have to pull rank on this.
And okay, well, I'm going to backtrack and figure this out as a character then. And
Please do.
And I'm going to carry on with my statement I've just said.
That's fine. I just wanted to like find out where you were actually coming from, because if it was just as a character thing, then I can. But I wanted to like actually clarify with this first.
So show me in writing, Ambrius, where I have said I would be a bodyguard on this expedition. Look at me. You think I can be a bodyguard? Do you think I have any strength?
We had a verbal contract, Dix, as you seemed well versed in magic.
A verbal contract, yes, of all my years of verbal contracts standing their ground. It's phenomenal. Yes, of course.
A verbal contract relies upon one's integrity.
Yes.
If you do not have the integrity to follow through on a verbal contract, Dix, that says more about your character than it does mine. At the very most, it says that I am too trusting, and it says that you, dear Dix, are a cad.
Can I just stand back and just get next to
I must say,
Jack
I would
at this
say
point?
anything to get out of those.
I'm just going back.
I would say, Gregor.
No, I'm stepping back.
For a second. I am angry.
He stood next to Jack. It's pretty much the remainder of the group stood around on either side as you and Amrius are arguing.
I was going to say, can I turn to Jack and say, Dix has been a bit of a dick, isn't he?
I just hope it kicks off.
Every so often you just hear Jack slither behind both Amrius and Dix. Fight. Go on him.
I actually want to go lumbering up to Dix. I just sort of whisper to him and go,
He's blaming you, Dix.
Yeah, and I need to finish this.
the camera's gone.
Yeah, I guess. I'm keeping that, though. That's an amazing screenshot.
That is very good.
I would verbally say anything to get out of those caves we were in.
Then
Right.
once again,
And I
Dix, that is more
and
you than I.
excuse I would say anything, right?
Taking advantage of your
Also-
mistakes.
I would be willing to accompany this party and offer the most protection I can possibly offer if the group also had my back. All I can see so far is Gregor and Ezador, even Jack, that have currently got my back.
You mean
Do
your
you really
fellow
have it?
bodyguards? Yes. That is
They're
what
not my
bodyguards
bodyguards.
do. No, they are the bodyguards of the group. You protect the group. You are part of the group, are you not? You have each other's backs. Now, I know that you were not around for the entire expedition. However, when this initially set off, there were 6 bodyguards, I believe. Was that correct, Gregor? He kind of gestures towards you. There were around about 6 bodyguards to 4 or 5 non-bodyguards.
I just
That's
nod
how-
my head, and as I look, I'll just look at... Is it Mila? Mila?
Yes, Mila.
I'll just look at Mila like, I think you best stand over here.
Yeah, just kind of gesture, and she kind of like runs quite quickly. Still quite silent. Her face is kind of getting a bit cold. Not cold as in physically, you know, like just getting a bit withdrawn.
I was going to say, keep that blanket near.
Okay, Gregor, what were you doing? Sorry, as the rain is going to fall heavier, and Amrius and Dix are just kind of like stood in the center, just Dix looking up at him, Amrius looking down, like yelling at each other now.
I kneel down to the child, and as the rain's just falling on her head, I'm just wiping back the soot and like the dust just away from her face, and just making sure she's clean. It's like, there, isn't that better?
She doesn't respond to you. She doesn't like back away. She doesn't move away. She doesn't respond at all, really.
Just
a bit of a
then
blank
just,
look.
Yeah, just give her just a tap on the thingy, and then just goes stand straight back up.
Still no response from her.
Yeah, that's it.
Again, she doesn't react like she's scared, but she doesn't say thank you. She doesn't smile. She doesn't grimace. She just doesn't really react too much at all. Looks potentially a bit shell shocked, really.
Yeah.
You'd expect. Yeah, so Dix, you are still kind of like stood arguing with Amrius.
Yeah, I can't remember what I was saying now.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. You know what? I know a good place to jump back in. Yeah,
It was about the bodyguards.
Shut up! Stop trying to cause a fight. I know where to jump back in. As the camera pans over to Gregor, wiping the face, and Jack is like stood behind both Amrius and Dix, just whispering in their ears and stuff, just trying to be a dickhead.
I'm circling them now, just staring at them, but circling.
Amrius is noting this as well. It's just like, oh, this is not good. If you wish, Dix, you do not have to remain a bodyguard. You can, with your failure to protect Redmond, there is an opening for a protection area as such. You may continue travelling with us back to Salt Harbour if you are travelling with Gregor and Ezador, but you will not be paid for your endeavours like they are. They are being paid for being bodyguards. If you continue to be a bodyguard, you shall be paid as such. Otherwise, you will not be paid.
Oh.
I suggest a counter offer.
And what would that be? And what guarantee would you have with this counter offer, as you have already stated that your word cannot be trusted?
Who said I can't be trusted?
You did about 20 seconds ago, Dix, when you said, and I quote, "I would say anything to get out of that cage."
Oh, snap.
I said cave, not cage. Very well. Listen, I am simply infuriated because I do not feel that a bodyguard is such the right thing for me to be in this expedition.
Then what would you suggest, Dix?
I have a lot of arcane knowledge. I have a lot of knowledge and wisdom on this world. Perhaps my assistance could be elsewhere.
That would have a more valid argument if this was on the towards journey of our expedition. We are now heading back to Salt Harbour, and I do not expect us to go into any ruins. We are not at our full strength, as it were. Maybe if I have a job in the future to do with artifacts, relics, or even I was going to discuss this with Gregor later on, but even if it was to continue hunting down the cult that has stolen the artifact that we have lost so many lives for, then maybe it will be useful for that. But for this expedition itself, we've gone past the point of needing arcane knowledge. We need to get back to Salt Harbour in one piece.
Very well, then let's just head back to Salt Harbour then. I'm sure this expedition will be going again, correct?
Not this exact expedition, but almost certainly something regarding the cult, yes.
Something regarding the plinths, yes.
Yes. However, do you agree then that you are not a bodyguard, and as such, you can be protected, of course, but you have no... There is nothing holding you to follow Gregor, Ezador, Raynor, and Fu for protection.
Well, let's just say this.
Trying to welch on the deal after the job is done, I'd say.
You are not helping Ezador.
Just speaking my mind.
Let's just say this. I like to be paid.
Then do your job.
Whoa.
Ooh.
I have lost yet another member of the party. It is not my job to look after the party, it is the bodyguards. If you wish to be paid as a bodyguard, then do the bloody job of a bodyguard. You can tell he's becoming a little irate that another member of his party has died, and now this random person that he rescued is questioning him about, being a bodyguard when he agreed to be a bodyguard.
Well, with that then, I'll just use Presty again, just to snuff out the piece of wood I'm holding.
I forgot you were holding that. Not gonna lie, I forgot you were holding this piece of wood. You just snuff it out and you just kind of hoof back off, I'm assuming, into the forest tree line, because that's where everyone else was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as you stomp away, are you interacting with anyone, or are you just literally going into the makeshift camp that they made?
Is the little girl following me?
Nope, she is stood next to Gregor at the moment.
Okay, that's fine. No, I don't need to interact with anyone then.
Yeah, so you go away into the forest line. You can see that the canopy. That's fair. That's fair. You can see that there is a makeshift camp. The canopy of the tree tops. There is still water dribbling down. It's kind of like a steady stream, but the camp itself is protected enough that there is a small campfire and 1 or 2 tents that have already been erected.
There's a small campfire in between one of the 2 tents, yeah?
Yeah. Basically, there's like 2 tents, a smallish campfire that's been set ablaze, and there seems to be like a little bit more space for like a couple more tents, really.
Is this where we're bearing down for the night? By the looks of it, then.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm just simply going to be close to the fire, and I'm going to close this hat back down myself, and I'm going to try and get a full night's sleep to get rid of this point of exhaustion.
That's fair.
Because I don't stand a chance with any fucking
you pull
persuasion on anything here.
You pull the hat open like a bit wider, pull it down, and then just like a snap, it snaps to. You're very nice and warm in your hat next to the campfire. Yeah, you drift off quite quickly. We'll see how well you sleep shortly. Jack, I suppose, and Gregor, you've just witnessed this fight happen. Raynor, similar to Jack, but rather than circling them, Raynor's just like, There is Outtake coming quickly. Amrius, I thought you were gonna hit him.
I'll go pick up the stick. I thought he was gonna clock you with this then for a moment.
Yeah, that would have been funny. This Raynor's just like, you know what, Ezador? In this,
I am not Ezador.
Oh, my bad. Who are you?
Jack.
Not Ezador. Well, you know what, Jack? I quite like you. You're not quite a square like Ezador, so here you go. And he pulls out a bottle of this black liquid. He pulls out the cork with and he hands you it. Feel free to have a swig of this wonderful alcohol. It is basilisk venom, so you should probably take it easy.
What go wrong here? Pick it up. I'll take a swig.
Please roll me a con save. As this slimy tentacly wraps around it, as he lifts it up, Raynor can see there's a bit of grease on the bottle. It's like, I'm probably not going to drink that again.
No, I've lost my 20 die. I'll have to do it on Critical Role. Not Critical Role. We are not affiliated with Critical Role.
Still, we are still not affiliated with Critical Role. Matt Mercer won't return my calls.
Not today. What is this, con save?
Mm-hmm. Yes, please.
Where the hell's my character sheet gone? Sorry, 2 seconds.
It's alright.
There it is. A constitution. Oh my god, where is it? Why can't I find it on the character? Oh, it's there. 17.
17. Yeah, you take a nice big swig of it, and it is very warming. It warms all of your tendrils. For an almost split second, it feels as though your tendrils are hardening for a second, And then, nope, straight back to nice warm.
Warms the cockles.
Fair play. Just as a heads up, whenever you do drink that as a human, you're going to have to roll that con save. So you can drink again if you wish, or you can... There might be a reward if you can drink 3 times in a row.
As a phantom.
You are still classed as a human. Your entomology is still... Your biology is still pretty much humanoid, or whatever passes for that. So, yes.
Go on then, I'll
Whenever
drink
you
it again.
Alright, roll me a con save.
Boosh. Oh god, 8.
Just like the kindly Ezador, you take a large, nice swig of it. You think you're just dandy. Take a step forward, and your tentacles just kind of freeze in place, and you slam straight on the front, straight into your face.
That's a bit of kick, that was.
Yeah, you're unable to move at this point. Your tentacles are just kind of frozen in place, and Jack, as you are frozen in place, unable to move, you, Jack, are able to hear Ezador talking to you if Ezador is talking to you.
Cool.
Kind of like on an equal playing field.
I can just hear him.
You can converse with each other, essentially. You're on a level playing field. If he has anything to say. If not, then we can head elsewhere.
If Ezador has anything to say.
Yes.
Guys! Guys! Guys!
Like I said, no one can hear you. It's just literally in your own mindscape because you're pretty much paralyzed.
Right, well, I can. Alright.
I was going to say, you're paralyzed for the duration because the basilisk venom.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but there's a conversation going on right now in my head, but I can't speak it because no one would hear it.
I mean, yeah, you could say the conversation out loud if you want, or you can just have it and we will find out what it said later if needs be.
Okay. Oh, that will have to go that way then, I think, because I can't. Yeah.
It's
right.
fine.
I know.
Don't worry about it.
I know what's being said.
Yeah, I was going to say just update us later.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Gregor, you've kind of just seen Dix storm off. You've seen Gregor, you've seen Dix storm off, and you've seen Jack take 2 swigs of the basilisk venom and then fall flat on his face. Amrius is just kind of walking around in a bit of a huff, trying to light a pipe. Ebchar has kind of skulked off back to the camp. Fu is kind of like leant against the tree, just staring at the rain. And Raynor has kind of like walked by Jack, swooped down, picked up the basilisk venom, and just walked off.
I am going to mumble. Now, you got no chance. It's my turn.
I mean, your turn for what? I've literally got the venom here, and you fell over, so it's my turn. Nighty night, Jack. Just walks up into the forest.
Buffoon.
What do you say, little one? Let's get you something to eat and some water. I just pick up Myla, just put her in my arms, and just walk towards the barrels, and see if she can get a sip of water and a little bit of food.
Yeah, she's able to. She knows how to operate it. She gets herself a glass of water, gets herself a bowl of food, and she just eats in silence.
I just watch over just for now, and then I set up my camp.
Okay, is everyone off to sleep?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I make sure that Myla's got a little bit in a corner where she can sleep as well.
Yeah, she's kind of nicely protected from the rain. You find a branch that's a little bit lower down than the others, like with a bit more foliage, and yeah, she's protected from the rain there. Right. She does seem to fall asleep quite quickly, but again, she's not really saying much.
Can can I call back my rat as well?
Yes, the rat comes bounding back.
I just point to her. Protect her.
The rat kind of like cocks its head to the side, almost as if to say, you do know that I, vanished from existence in, 5 hours, right?
Yeah, for as long as you can.
Okay, and in its mouth, it drops what it thinks is yummy, which is a couple of seeds, a couple of grains, a little bit of cheese, some cereals, so you can like wheat and whatnot. So I kind of like blah, all of this out. Some berries.
I just got
there.
Yummy! And then just chuck them in my mouth at that point.
As it's dripping with the saliva of the rat. It doesn't taste that nice, but it doesn't really do you any harm. The rat just kind of
that's enough. Then I just go into my tent and then just fall asleep.
Okay. Everyone roll me a d20, please. Gaz, if you get above a 10... No, actually, roll me 2 d20s, please, Gaz. Roll me the first one, and tell me the first one.
11
Or
for
9.
me.
9.
10.
Okay.
15.
10. 9, 15. Okay, so... GB, what was you again, sorry?
11.
Okay, let me just sort something out very quickly. 11. So, Dix, you sleep well enough. You're still angry about what's happened. You're still covered in the viscera of the Choldrith. You're still, you're still wondering what the hell to do, essentially, seeing as, this group doesn't seem to have your back too well. But you do sleep well enough that your point of exhaustion has gone. Gregor, how about you? What did you get again?
I got a 10.
A 10?
Are we adding initiative as well, or?
No, it's just a straight up D20 on this.
Okay, yeah, it's 10 then.
Again, similar to Dix, you're a bit tossy and turny over everything. The small child that has been left outside in the rain is on your mind. The fact that she's not speaking too much, the fact that she's probably been through quite a fair bit for a kid. But again, you sleep well enough that you feel relatively rested. You feel rested enough, at least, not to have any detrimental effects. A little bit groggy waking up.
Lovely.
Jack slash...
As if you didn't give her the 10.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was hitting with. That small child that you left outside. You didn't decide to, I don't know, maybe sleep outside and let the child have the tent. Too late now. She's gone to sleep in the rain.
Well, she's gone straight to sleep, so she obviously slept well.
Yeah, the
It's fine.
traumatized child has just fallen asleep. Great. There's nothing to worry about there.
The rat's looking after her. It's fine.
The giant rat.
Yes.
The giant
That'll
rat,
probably
that
freak
was-
her out if she wakes up in the middle of the night.
Yeah, that was the harbinger of the goblins.
Yeah, I was like,
That giant rat. Oh, Gregor's made many mistakes, but fucking hell.
Is this class as a long rest as well?
Yes, you've got all your health back, all of your everything back. Guys, what did you get again? Sorry.
it was a 9 and then a 15.
A 9 and a 15. Okay, so you don't sleep quite as well. The entire night is pretty much a tug of war between Ezador and Jack over getting control. However, with that, you don't have any real detrimental effects as such. You're just a little bit groggy when you wake up. However, with that 15, I will allow you guys to choose who is in control when you wake up.
Right. You know what? I feel it would be fair if it was like a coin flip.
Yeah, go for it.
I was going to say roll a d20 as well.
Yeah, just anything along those lines.
Okay, well, all right. Can you... I'd just rather keep it out of my hands, really.
Yeah, okay.
Can you pick,
I
Tom, like 10 and below, who's going to be there then?
So 10 and below, we will do that as Jack. 11 to 20, we will do that as Ezador. A natural 1 means that you've died in your sleep.
Really?
No.
It's like, I don't like this plan. Right, it's a 15 again.
So Ezador then.
So it's Ezador. Right, okay. Oh,
See, we'll start with you, Ezador. You awake in the morning, back in control.
oh. Where's that stone? Stone! Guys! Where is it?
What?
Where is everyone? Have you seen a stone about yay big, black, got gold, spindly things on it? I really need it.
I don't give a fuck. Go back to sleep.
Gregor, you are testing my patience. I'm gonna scour the ground and go. I'll just keep calling out for guys to look for a stone.
I was gonna say, are you out of your tent at this point?
Me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
What time is this? As well.
It's early morning. It's gone past dawn. Ezador, as you scamper out, you can see that Amrius is sat in front of the fire with a kind of like a metal cup that's steaming, smoking a pipe again. He looks a little bit worried.
Amrius, my friend.
Oh, hello, Ezador. It is good to see you again. I'm not that oik that was taking over your body the previous night.
Yes, and I'm afraid we have a bit of a problem.
Yes.
That oik may very well come back and stay if I don't find that stone. Do you remember the stone?
You like that stone. Do you remember that stone that I've not told anyone about? What stone would that be, Ezador?
There was a stone around my neck. It was black and gold with bits on it. Like, I really need it.
Yeah, so it dropped off you when you transformed into... Well, after you drank some basilisk venom. I do not know if you remember that.
No, that sounds rather foolish.
It was incredibly foolish, and then Jack ingested some more last night when you came back.
Oh.
And then promptly knocked himself out.
Ha! Looks like I may have caught a bit of good fortune there then. Well,
That's potentially.
would you kindly show me where I became liberated? Because I really need to find that stone. Otherwise,
No,
bad things could happen.
no need, dear boy, after you had slurped off, I guess is the term. Sloped off. I noticed it on the floor, and I decided to keep it for safekeeping in case it was of importance to you. And he kind of reaches into his pocket, and he sets his metal cup down, reaches into his pocket, and hands you the stone back.
Oh, praise Amrius! I'm gonna hug him.
He is taken aback a little bit. He kind of like raises his arm so that the pipe doesn't spill on you. This is quite all right, dear boy. If this stone is that important to you, maybe hold on to it better next time. You never know the next time you transform if it would knock off again. Maybe find some more permanent solution, maybe.
That is very, very wise advice, and I am absolutely going to take it on board. You know, this reminds me, or it at least helps me understand all these people that I've saved in my past life, like the many, many people I've saved, how they must feel. Just gratitude, lots of gratitude. Thank you.
Yeah, it's quite all right, dear boy. I'm glad that some people on this expedition appreciate things.
Well, of course I do. You have no idea how important this is, because without this little thing, that thing, the Jack, he could just stay, and bad things could happen. I need to stay in control of him. He's got a very, very dark side.
Yes, I gathered. He told me that Redmond had passed away, and he seemed to take the utmost pleasure in delivering it. And I'm not sure, when you're in this state, how much you will see of the events surrounding. But Dix and I got into a slight disagreement last night, and Jack, I believe you called him, seemed insistent on escalating the situation.
Yes, I am sorry about that, but to be fair, I expected much worse. I have a feeling if I didn't manage to get this stone back and get back in control, he very well would have tried to have left with you lot. And after leaving the area, I think things could have got a lot worse. So, I think...
I am very well happy that was not the case.
Yes, I'm sorry. It's a bit of a dangerous thing I've got here, I know, but normally I'm completely in control. But if I'm not, then I can honestly say we're very lucky he didn't go about the camp while you all slept. Let me just say that.
Yes. Well, thankfully, despite the situations the previous 24 hours, I feel a lot more rested. So I believe I will be able to cut our trip incredibly short. Potentially, if I feel strong enough to even get us just outside of Assault Harbour. So you'll hopefully be able to find the help that you need there.
Oh, fantastic, yes. I wonder if they have any statues of me there.
I'll let you find that one out, dear boy. Let you investigate that.
Wouldn't surprise me. I mean, I did save the city many times, but...
He hands you a cup of coffee as you kind of like sit down and start regaling him of your past.
Single-handedly as well, I might add. Many times.
Gonna fade that scene out a little bit as you're starting to talk about that. Dix, how are you waking up? You're obviously still outside, wrapped in your hat.
Just the cap underneath. Just check to see if it's daylight yet.
It is.
Yes. Realise. Oh, it is daylight. Must have slept it. I will look around. Anyone in my peripheral vision?
You can see that Amrius is sat down talking to Ezador. Ezador is in his Ezador form. Ebchar, you can see Ebchar has started walking out the camp, just like slightly away. You can see that Fu is kind of like sat with his legs crossed, hands on his legs, just eyes closed. And you can also see that Raynor is talking to Mila. It's kind of like crouched down, chatting to her.
Alright, so with the hat still down, the corner flicked up, I'll just scurry my way over to Amrius.
Yep.
Lift with him on my right hand side, lift the right side of the cap up. Amrius.
Yes. He kind of like, he kind of, wait 1 second there, Ezador just looks down, sees this moving hat with an eye pretty much poking out. Yes, Dix. Good morning.
Good morning. Are we okay?
We good? We good.
We good.
We good. Yes, I believe things got a little heated last night. I still do not know the full story of what happened in that village. However, given your temperament last night, I can only assume it did not go too well for yourself.
No. Well, you see. And I'll
just whoop.
Yes, I must apologise for last night. I was in a little bit of a state. You see, I ventured into that village. I got left. Well, let's say dropped. And then all of a sudden, I'm in this cocoon, spider's web, and things just didn't go my way at all.
Yes. May I just interject though, and just say that Dix, you did very well. I mean, it was you after all that finished the spider. And saved the little girl. It's unfortunate we lost another comrade, but unfortunately, missions sometimes happen that way, don't they? We all know that.
Yes, they do. Yes, I suppose I was just feeling like a lot of the weight was was on me to be this bodyguard that you so wanted me to be, and quite frankly, I'm not used to having this line of work at all. Like, I base my life on knowledge and knowledge alone, and to be thrown into something like this is quite overwhelming. So I do apologise if I lost my cool last night.
That is.
And I will continue this journey and offer my assistance in the way that you feel I should. And I appreciate the opportunity, and I thank you for letting me accompany you on this journey.
It is quite alright, Dix. I do, of course, accept your apology, and I must extend mine to you as well. It seems that we were both out of sorts last night. You must understand that. Whilst I said that I do not bear full responsibility for the loss of another member of our group, as the leader of the expedition, it bears down on me nonetheless. And hearing that we have lost another in such short succession it weighs on one's soul, Dix.
It is horrible, yes, it is horrible. I fully understand.
Yes, so I believe that if you are still willing, there is only a small part of this journey left. In fact, only a morning, I would say, if that. And then the very short distance from the outskirts of Salt Harbor to Salt Harbor itself, which is a 5-minute walk, if that. But if you are willing to continue to be our bodyguard as such, then I will allow that, and I will, of course, give you Ragnarok or Ivik's share of what they would have made.
That would be greatly appreciated.
Let us remember the little soul we have saved, after all.
Yes, I do worry about her too. She's not said nary a peep since she has been in this camp.
Poor thing.
Very.
She's just scared is all. She has lost her father.
I did not get fear from her. I got anger.
Well, it's understandable.
When a child... He kind of pauses for a second, and you see him stare off into the distance. You can roll a perception if you wish to follow his gaze.
Yeah. 15.
15? Ezador, are you following his gaze
yes,
as well?
I'd like to, yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
Ooh. Perception.
Gregor's just getting up at this point.
Just kind of... Well, I'm probably the first one up.
20, not that.
With a 15, Dix, you can see that he's looking at Ebchar as he leaves the camp. Ezador with a 20, not natural, but a 20 nonetheless. Yeah, you can see that he's looking at Ebchar as he's leaving the camp. And as he's looking at him, you can see in his eyes there is profound sadness. There's almost tears welling up in his eyes a little bit. When a child loses a parent, especially in an unfair way, sadness, as is often the case, gives way to anger incredibly quickly. They feel that it's unfair that their parent has been taken away from them in such a way. They will obviously lash out, they will rebel.
Well,
if they have a parent left, they will rebel against them, but with no parent to rebel against, this anger might know no depths.
I think she still feels like he is not gone, though.
And that is even more dangerous. Because hope that is crushed is far worse than just mere sadness and anger at one's death. Do you believe that her father is still alive?
I don't think so.
Then is it better that we harbour this false hope for her, walk out into the fields and find her father's corpse? Or do we try and deal with the aftermath?
Well, may I interject? I saw the workings of these spiders, like after they'd finished with their prey. Unfortunately, Redmond was not really something I believe the daughter would wish to see of their once father.
Yes, I believe you're correct. Has she given any indication as to how the events of the village occurred?
Yes.
She does have a diary. I read through the diary, and she has it back now. But something weird went on in that village.
A man,
Yeah.
I believe. A man came
Yes.
along to rid them of goblins and whatnot with some sort of blue lanterns. But the lanterns did their job, and he took gold, and from there, the problem with the spiders came. Seems very,
That's correct.
if I remember correctly, I don't. It's a bit hazy because I was looking through the fog of Jack, unfortunately. But
Yes, of course. So what you're saying is that a strange man, did she give any descriptors on him so that we can be on the lookout, maybe?
There was a description,
Black eyes. I seem to remember.
but I can't
Black eyes. Was that right?
possibly. I cannot remember. There was a lot going on that night. It is all. If you simply ask her, she will tell you. It is in a diary, and she has it on her person.
Very well. I will have a chat with her when we return to Salt Harbour. I do not believe now is the time or place. However, just continuing, let's just try and extrapolate the information here. They were being attacked by goblins and rats, yes. And then this man comes in, installs blue lanterns, and the attacks stop, yes.
Yes, offering his protection.
And shortly after, the spiders and the Choldrith appeared.
Yes. Maybe something to do with these blue lanterns.
Yes. Is it not possible that the lanterns beckoned the Choldrith, which in turn destroyed the goblins and the giant rats, and when there was no more prey of them left, they turned their sights on the villagers?
Yes. That seems the wise option.
And the man took the gold.
Yes. However, it does make one wonder why he employed this method. It would be easy enough for him to sell them snake oil, as it were, something that did not work at all. But for him to summon a Choldrith using these lanterns, Choldriths belong deep underground in the Underdark. So for one to be up here is
So,
incredibly odd.
are you saying he came to the village, took their gold, and then wanted them dead afterwards?
I'm not too sure of that. As in, I believe that might be the case, but I cannot say for certainty. All I know is that this is a very peculiar situation, and regardless
think-
of where we've... Sorry, go on, Dix.
I apologize. I think the motivation was gold.
That's a dark
Maybe that is
soul.
part of it.
To kill a village for gold. Very dark soul.
But it's very common.
Yes.
I believe that regardless of our future endeavours, whether or not we journey together as a group or not, all of us should be on the lookout for villagers with these lanterns or stories of the strange man. We might be able to save countless lives if we do.
Indeed. Maybe we should ask the little girl if she remembers the name.
Yes, that would be wise. And at this, Gregor, we're going to jump to you as the three of you are still chatting about the lanterns and the strange man.
I come out of my tent just like, just to let out a big yawn, and I just look at everyone in the campsite. Then, after I make sure that everyone's here, I just turn around to Myla. and see if she's still there.
Yeah, she's about 15 feet away from you. She kind of stood, and Raynor is kind of crouched chatting to her.
Yeah, I just walk towards Myla and Raynor.
Yeah, as you get closer towards them, then you can hear Gregor kind of like crouched. Okay, so he smelt rotten, and he smelled like fire, and he had a warm, syrupy voice. Have I got that right? She's kind of nodding her head. You said he took all of the gold, right? Nods her head again. Okay. Very well. Now, I'm gonna break it to you, quite bluntly, because I think, yeah, you're a kid, but you're gonna have to grow up quick, kid. Your papa, he's dead. I'm fairly sure your mother died a while ago. So, they're gone. So it's up to you now what you want to do. You can either stay in that village, which probably isn't great. We can take you to another village, or you can come back with us and we'll figure out what to do with you there. There's a guy in Salt Harbor. If you want to stay there's a guy in Salt Harbor that helps with orphans and refugees and all that kind of stuff. The life isn't glamorous, but it's kind of like a weird little family, a criminal family as such. Here. It's up to you, whatever you want. And Gregor, as you kind of approach, you just hear, revenge. I want to get the man who did this.
I just come up. Raynor.
Gregor, how'd you sleep?
Not too bad. It took me a while to get to sleep. Maya, how did you sleep?
Okay. A little bit wet. It was raining outside.
With the big giant rat.
That's gone now. That's gone. As soon as
Yeah,
dawn
it's
comes, it disappears.
Luckily that giant rat that you left outside didn't attack me, but it was a bit scary.
He wouldn't attack you. He's under my control.
And I don't know you.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
He says unconvincingly. Yeah,
So I heard that you want to get revenge.
Yep. I want to find the man who did this.
I just kneel down and say,
Hey,
the one way you can get revenge is by getting stronger.
okay. And how do I do that?
The best way to do is learn combat.
Okay. And I'll learn combat. And then I'll find him. And I'll kill him.
Definitely. But first, we need to get you to a safe place and make sure that you're all right. Can I pull out another thing from a bag of tricks?
Pop out another rat.
Let's see if it is another rat. It is another rat. It's a giant badger this time.
Okay, that's fine. The giant badger pops out of you reach into your bag, you pull out some fuzz, and you're like, behold! the fuzz kind of reaches its target, then like a boom! And the giant badger just starts snuffling around.
You see this badger?
Yeah.
This will protect you.
Okay.
Treat it as if it was your best friend. You'll be absolutely fine.
You're gonna break this poor girl's heart.
But it will be dead within 5 hours.
The first thing you need to learn, Mila, is never form attachments. I formed attachments to my friends and they're all dead. Every single one of them. Look at me, I'm strong. Okay.
I gotta say, he only lasts for the day. But he'll protect you for that day.
Her eyes kind of widen. My best friend lasted longer than a day, Dave. Oh no. And she just kind of, her voice trails off slightly. She understands the weight of what has happened in the village. Maybe. Raynor kind of like stands up, kind of gets you by the short, like a friendly kind of like arm over, kind of turns you away. Maybe don't mention the death of her friends and her village and everyone she's known and loved. Orphan to orphan, me to her. That type of stuff is not great.
I was just trying to cheer her up with a little friend.
Yeah, but let's be honest here. It's an orphan thing. I don't think you'd understand.
Right. Should I kill the badger in front of her then?
Jesus. Not Jesus. We don't have a Jesus here. Elven Jesus, no. Lavender, no. No, Talos. Talos works more. Talos, no. You're gonna have this girl's entire family and life ripped away from her. Then you're gonna try and give her some comfort and then just break its neck. Oh no, no comfort for you. You gotta get strong. No. I'm starting to think, Gregor, that you might not be the best parental figure for this girl.
Maybe not. Maybe not.
Maybe I'll raise her. I could adopt so many orphans. We could have a band of feet. Oh my god.
Are you sure
kinda
that's
comes to her-
wise?
It's the wisest thing I've ever. Hey, Foo! Foo, do you wanna run a band of thieves with me? They can learn all the cool shit from me and all the boring, meditate and shit from you. No response from Foo. Just kind of clumps over. I'm talking to you, you fucking... Just kind of stomps out of view.
So I'm just left with Milo at this point.
Yeah, it's just Milo at this point.
Okay.
As Raynor's literally trying to grab Foo to force him to co-parent a bunch of hypothetical orphan children.
Come on. Do you want some food?
She nods her head.
Come on. I just grab her hand and just lead her towards one of the barrels, like that's filled with very bland food.
Yeah, just this really bland food for this poor child who's lost everything. As you do, you pass by Amrius, Dix, and Ezador.
Amrius? Creeps.
Morning, Gregor.
Good morning.
Dix.
Gregor?
Is it Ezador?
It's Ezador, yes.
Ezador?
I'd be offended normally. Well, Gregor, I believe I am going to need to work with you and Dix as well.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
So maybe a confabulation at the rock.
That's fine. Milo, you help yourself to food and water. I just walk off.
Okay. Yeah, so the three of you are now walking over towards a rock by the side, basically. Quite a large rock. Almost a boulder. Not quite a boulder.
Right. Dix and Gregor with me.
Yes.
Well, I'll be really quick, because since we have to move on pretty soon. But it's just occurred to me, I think it's best I tell you something right now so it doesn't happen again, because it was a little bit... We nearly had a really big problem last night. More of a problem.
Okay.
Right, do you know this stone? I'm going to show them the stone. Mm-hmm. And then it'll be like, this is very important. I need it on me at all times, because that Jax is very bad news. I got him from a very bad place. And he's very useful, and he'll be very helpful to us, as long as I stay in control. This stone right here, very rare. In fact, I don't think you can get another one. This is the only one, and if I don't have it, then it's just going to be Jax. And if I'm not in control, I can tell you now, he has no problem murdering people in their sleep.
Alright, where did you get this Jax from?
Oh, it's a bit of a story. I dabbled in going to other places. And when I did, do you believe in purgatory?
That is a very good question. I've never thought about it myself.
In a sort of way, I feel I know where you're coming from.
No, yeah, I don't.
Well, you should do, because you've been there. When we were talking to Cyric, that place.
Oh, okay. Yes.
You see, that place is a place where people tend to go before they go to wherever they go after. You know, beyond the bit we don't know about. After we die.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that.
I rather foolishly, in my pursuit of knowledge, thought, I could get there, I could get back. Why not? I'll go and have a little perusal. There were other reasons, but we don't need to go into that. But when I got there, this Jack's fellow was there, and he seemed okay, I suppose, but it wasn't really a problem because he was in purgatory, and it looked like he had a bit of a problem of moving on. I think he was a little bit scared of what would happen to him. You know, judgment and all that.
Are you saying that Jack was a god?
No. He was a normal. Well, no, he was human, I think, but he was a very horrible one, like the worst crimes you could think of. He did things that I just can't even mention, and this meant he didn't want to be judged. He did not want to go to wherever he was doomed to go.
Right.
And he found me, and when I was there, and unbeknownst to me, he latched on inside me, and I didn't know, I wasn't aware. But when I came back, he started taking over, and very bad things happened. I couldn't get control.
Right.
But then I managed to find someone that would actually help me, and, well, long story short, because I really do sense we do have to shuffle on. Yeah, I just really want you to get the point of really important here. I got this stone that helps me keep him under wraps. I can take him out of control at a moment's notice with this little trinket of mine. Very handy. But if I don't have this trinket, then I suggest don't go to sleep.
Right, so yes.
Jesus.
So your main point is to keep an eye on Jack if he pops out again.
Just no, he won't do anything. And to be honest, little Dix, I've got to admit, he actually quite likes you now. Yes. The way you destroyed that spider, he was quite impressed. He saw a bit of bloodlust in you because that was his kind of thing. But anyway, not on that point. The point is, he's only under control when I'm in control. So just the stone. If I don't have the stone, then just help.
Okay.
Because I was locked in there. I was trying to ask for help, but I can't. And I was very lucky. If we walked away from this place with Jack in control, I'd have never found that stone, and then that'd been it. He would have probably disappeared and then gone back to his old habits.
Right, you have the stone now, don't you?
Yes, I'm gonna have it implanted into my foot or something. I don't know yet. I'm gonna have to figure it out.
Oh, thank you for letting us know, Ezador.
Yeah, that sounds like a very good thing to know.
Something we should know.
Well, yes, I'm just thinking after this conversation with Cyric and that, Cyric, I forget his name. But after this conversation we had with him, it's looking like we may well be travelling for a while together, so I think it's rather important you know.
Well, you're joining me on this adventure as well. I mean, I know Dix is, but I think you're in it for the long run.
Well, yes. It looks like I can get some knowledge out of this, so yes, I'm all in.
Brill, as long as we know that, that's the main thing.
Yep, just the important notes. Jack, bad news. Stone, important.
Right, yes. Though, he seems to be very good in a fight.
Yes, that's why it's not why I keep him. I can't actually get rid of him, and he doesn't shut up. He's shouting at me right now, but I've learned to ignore him. Just take him with a pinch of salt, I suppose.
Right, yeah, definitely. But if he stays out too long, that's when we should be worried.
Well, yes, just make sure I've got the stone on me, which may be hard. Yes. Just check, I mean,
We'll figure a way.
I tell you, when we get back to Salt Harbor, we'll find a way to inbred this stone inside your body, and
You'll find a way to what? Sorry, let's just rewind a second there.
when we get back to Salt Harbor, we'll find a way to inbred this
Implant.
stone.
Implant. You'll find a way to implant.
I must
Embed you're thinking of.
Embed.
I must say, Gregor, I don't think
Jesus.
inbreeding's going to give me much help here.
I'm not sure.
Sorry, yeah. Embed this.
Gregor, for as much as I like you, I really don't feel that it would be wise to inbreed your stone into Ezador.
And besides, I'm not sure I have any relatives alive.
Ezador, meet your brother.
Right.
Yeah, that was my bad. Yeah.
We're gonna do it.
In bed, not in bread. Bed.
Oh, brother, I'm sorry. I've got a bit of a task for you.
I have a stone and it needs placing somewhere. Quite deep.
Just grit your teeth and think of my comrades.
Can I keep with the inbred thing? Just keep serious, but all you just look shocked.
Yeah, you're just saying it completely serious, not realizing what's happening. And yeah, Dix and Ezador just kind of like eyes a bit open, just like
I mean, I think I get what it means, but let's just be on the safe side, just in case he doesn't.
I mean, put the stone in his body. That's.
Oh, in bed.
Yes, in bread. That's what I mean.
It's okay.
Okay.
Oh, I must admit, I'm rather relieved. I thought you knew of a spell, and I want to sort the situation out, but there's certain levels I will not go to. I have to admit.
oh, fucking hell. Jesus Christ, that's ruined me. Fucking
I was gonna say, Ezador, I can embed it into you.
Well, we'll put that plan on the back burner for now. Just keep ourselves open for other opportunities, shall we? And if they arise, I'll probably go with that first.
You all walk back into the camp, not uttering a single word to each other or even maintaining eye contact.
I'm staying well away from Gregor.
I'm just looking at them and it's like, what did I say wrong? I don't know.
Yeah, just Dix and Ezador now sat on one side of the camp, just like backs against the wall, just staring at Gregor. Are we?
We're moving on. Yeah,
You are moving on at this point.
Are we about right? Fucking hell. Can't even do my push voice. Are we about ready to go, chaps?
Yes, I'm just packing up my tent at this point.
Very well. Dix and Ezador, I believe you have only seen this once, but, I have the objectability to portalers around Dix and wherever these weather vanes of mine are placed.
Ah, yes, fascinating.
Do you, he kind of like just walks over and kind of crouches down next to Mila and looks back. Or do you think it might be wise to place one of the weather vanes outside of her village in case we ever need to return back for some reason or another?
I think so. I have a feeling there may be a bit of a plot here that we may wish to...
A quest, if you will, a side one.
Yes. It was a bit too meta, that, wasn't it? I think there may be a bit of story that someone's yes
Left behind.
A bit of story, additional, environmental, if you will.
I think there may be some issues here that are unresolved, and we may wish to return.
I agree.
Very well, very well. If you would all hold on for 5 minutes, I will, he kind of reaches into his satchel, pulls out this small purple weather vane, And as he's walking, you can see he's starting to etch onto it. I shall place this in an area that it will not be disturbed, and if needs be, we can always return here one day. Post haste from the outskirts of Salt Harbour.
Yes, because I must say this Spider-Man is really concerning me.
Spider-Man.
Somewhere in the distance, there is an orcish journalist with just like a big mustache, just hammering the desk, just been like, "Give me pictures of Spider-Man." Yeah, I've ruined the legitimacy of this stream.
We've killed him. We've completely just butchered this Spider-Man. I want pictures of Spider-Man. Oh, he's dead.
Give me pictures of Spider-Man. Just 2 big tusks. Yeah, so a couple of minutes pass, and Amrius returns back here. So that's all done. If we are about ready to go, I can summon the portal, and it will return us back to Salt Harbour.
Yes.
Can I look for Mila and just make sure she's okay?
She is still quiet. She's near Raynor, but neither of them are speaking as such. He's actually kind of crouched down next to her, and he's showing her his dagger, kind of like weighing it like between fingers and stuff like that, chucking it and catching it by the blade, and kind of like just like handing it to her essentially.
Are you two okay?
Yeah, just doing some orphan learning and stuff. She wants to kill that guy, then she needs to know how to use a knife.
Are you all right looking after Raynor for now?
If there's one thing I'm good with, Gregor, it's making sure children don't die. I didn't die, and I was a child once.
Can I just see? I see Mila. It's like, is the badger all right with you?
He's awfully quiet.
Well, he is set to protect you, so.
Just kind of turns back and starts playing with the knife a bit more. So, where did you say that I need to stop to take to kill him slowly and painfully?
Can I talk to Raynor, please?
You kind of tap Raynor on his shoulder. Well, you want to take out their tendons and their Achilles?
Raynor.
1 second, I'll keep you in suspense. Yeah, what's up?
Hey, Raynor. You seem to have a way there with kids.
Well, I won't say it's really a way, it's just, well, one of those situations, isn't it?
It is.
You're a young kid, you've got no parents.
Well,
sometimes you need a guiding hand.
Indeed. May I just, I was just wondering, do you think by any chance you may be able to get a name out of her? Do you know, in your chats? Just maybe try and get some details of what might have happened, because...
Oh, of the man? Yeah, she, it's gonna make it a lot more difficult, for us. But she does not know the name. She got a description, but no name. She calls him the Parasol Man.
Parasol.
Yeah, because he's got a parasol in the daytime, which is a little bit weird. But, you know.
Can I call back my badger? It's like, come on, badger.
Bounds towards you, snuffling its nose as it does so. Its mouth full of worms that it's dug up.
I just give him a little scratch underneath the chin, and that's it.
Little legs kick back a little bit.
I'm just going to be like, well, that's good. It seems that she might be opening up to you, so I don't know. If you could maybe, if she remembers anything else, if you could just let us know, because we might be able to do something. More information we get, the better. And it looks like you might be the best man for the job.
Well, I ain't promising nothing, but
No.
I'll keep chatting to her.
Yeah, no.
I'll see what we can do.
Indeed.
I'm gonna be quite honest with you, though. I don't think she's gonna want to stay in Salt Harbour. I have seen those eyes before. On me. You don't want to stay in one place, you want to find out. You want to find the person that's done this damage to you. You want to kill him. And I'm gonna be honest here with you, Ezador.
Seems like this parasol man might have a lot of money. So, I'm inclined to help this girl get her revenge. I'm gonna try and get Fool to come along with me. Because whilst I'm good at teaching her how to survive and to kill and all of that jazz, Fool will be the really boring, responsible one that tells her to, like, I don't know, brush her teeth or whatever the fuck.
Okay. Well, maybe we can discuss when we go back to Salt Harbor.
It sounds a plan. All I'll say is that it might not be best, and trust me, this is coming from a person who was in a very similar situation. Whatever you do not try and convince her not to seek revenge,
No,
because she'll hate you for
I
it.
have no intention of... I mean, I don't know, to be honest. I don't know what's best for her. I mean, it is a complicated situation. But I'm thinking
It is.
we may well want to join you. I don't know. We'll have to discuss as a group, maybe when we get back. So we'll go from there.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. I'm fairly sure she's happy with that. But yeah, if you're traveling with Gregor, from what I gathered from all the talks with Ragnarok and Ivik and Gregor on our journey here, they might have other things pressing.
Maybe. I don't know.
Nonetheless, if that's everything, I'm gonna teach her all about cutting the Achilles heel so that a victim can't crawl away.
Yeah, good one.
Now, sweetie, what you need to do? And he's just there, starts talking
And then I'm
to
just
her.
gonna go up to Dix and be like, I'm not too sure he's the best candidate, but
I know, he's probably not, but
But damn, he just looks so good looking after a kid.
we have so much weight right now.
I don't know. He looks like the father figure, don't he?
Let's just accompany and see what happens back at Salt.
Now, if you just over here, now if you cut really finely on their fingertips, all of them, whenever they need to move their fingers, they'll be in pain.
I just turn to the group. I mean, how would you feel if your family was wiped out by spiders because of someone that walked into town and pretty much took all their gold and got rid of the goblins, but invited other spiders to come in?
Just as you're saying this, you also hear, oh, what you can do is you can insert little wooden rods into the little cuts and slowly drive them into the wounds.
My smile just kind of just goes, oh yeah.
If you want revenge, oh boy, torture.
Maybe talk to Ezador at this point.
I'm staying out of it.
No, Ezador. I was talking to Ezador.
Arius,
Yes. Is it time
Let's
we
go.
are off? Yes.
it's time.
Yes, I
Agreed.
believe you are correct. Okay then, very well. Let's make sure. And he just kind of takes a quick head count. Notices that Ebchar's there, that Foo's there. Foo kind of like hops off his rock very delicately. It's like he's floating in air for a second. Lands very gently, walks by, kind of sees Raynor, just like, for the love of all that is holy, Raynor, do not teach the child how to torture someone. Teach her about a quick, painless death. Just continues walking. Umrius reaches into his satchel again and pulls out his leather-bound book, flips it open, finds a page and starts following it with his finger. And you can see every so often he's kind of like making signs with his fingers, almost like he's tracing the runes themselves, muttering to himself. And then you hear short harbor. He kind of places his hand flat and then spreads it across the page, almost like he's flicking a page. A bright purple light spreads across the page and flings out, and it expands into like a giant swirling purple void until it's wom. Our trip back awaits. Just kind of gestures to the portal.
I'll jump to it.
You jump into it, Dix, just like a whoomph.
I wait for everyone else to get through.
Okay.
Yeah,
Raynor. Sorry, go on.
sorry, yeah, I'll go through and go, oh, Salt Harbor.
Fu leaves next, followed by Ebchar, and then both Raynor and Mila kind of like just walk through. Not necessarily fast or anything, they just plod through it. Gregor, are you not following suit?
I just take one look back and just take a big sigh, and it's like, yes. And I just walk through.
Very well. And as you walk through, he follows quickly behind you, and the portal closes shut. And Gregor, this is common. This is, yeah, I guess common. You remember this as the portal kind of zumps, and you stepped through. The first thing you notice is that the air in front of you is finally, kind of like that crystal sheen hanging in it. The wind swirls around, and you can just smell sea salt in front of you, all around you. Dix, this is the first time that you've ever come across this area. And as you're looking around, you see that there are, right behind you, kind of coming into your view every so often, is a giant windmill. The vanes of it kind of like just swooping around. You're on a giant hill, overlooking multiple fields, many of which have been harvested, kind of giving a bit of a dull yellow look to the area. As you're kind of like spying down, you can see that some of the fields, they have farmhouses of various sizes of them, and in the fields are shapes which are moving around, which you assume to be creatures, cows, cattle, livestock. And further down, as your gaze follows down the road, you see a large city bordered off with wooden fences, essentially like logged barricades. You can just about make out a couple of different regions just from the shapes of the houses, but most importantly, you can see a giant black glass tower rising in the air, and above it, even though it is quite a distance away, you can see a pinkish kind of shimmer in the air.
I just turn to Ezador, Dix, Mila. This is Salt Harbor.
Very beautiful.
Yeah,
Shall we?
You guys, I'm assuming, Dix, you start leading the way?
Yeah.
As they lead the way, Ezador, for the second time in 2 days, you are left overlooking a hill, looking what was once a settlement, a small town that you once knew, and now see that it has burgeoned into a giant city.
By Titan! This has grown.
You've been here before, Ezador?
Yes, I think so, but it was nothing more than tents and a dock with boats, and that chapel that was nearly new. It's now covered in moss, and
just to point out, you can't see the chapel
I
yet.
can't see the side. No, really back.
No, you're not in the town. You're on the hill.
Okay, all right, okay. It's
sorry, yeah, you can't see it. Yeah.
yes, it was just a simple trading dock, really. The last time I was here, there wasn't all this walls and nice, Titan.
Why? What was the last time you was here?
300 years, Gregor.
Can I roll for insight to see if he's telling the truth?
Feel free to, yeah.
I thought we went through this. Nobody knew.
Oh, you did in the town, but I wasn't there.
Oh,
21.
The 21, as he says, 300 years, Gregor, and just walks forward kind of like almost sullenly. You're kind of stood there as he walks by, just kind of looking at him like head cocked slightly like, holy shit. He's telling the truth.
You're old!
Well, I'm, you have no idea, my friend. I'm actually older than 300.
Yeah, I'm just... Literally, my jaw just...
I was quite of age before I disappeared, if I'm being truthful.
Interesting. Tell me more as I'm walking down with him.
Yeah, so Ezador, do you want to quickly, as you guys are walking towards the city, how much do you want to reveal?
Well, I shall say, I set out on my quest around the year 672.
Can I roll for insight?
You can roll if you wish. That's about 300 years ago, give or take.
About 10.
You're not sure.
And
These are just numbers to you at the moment.
but when I set out, I actually set out to try and find out why I wasn't dying.
You wasn't dying?
Yes, because I grew up in a village where everybody around me, including my late wife, and they died of old age. Yet I just kept going. I'm going. I never aged.
Ah. Interesting. Can I roll to see if I recognize any of this?
Roll me history with disadvantage.
Yes, it's a bit of a puzzle. It actually links into why I was even in that damn purgatory and ended up with Jack. I was trying to find out why I wasn't going there.
12 for me.
You've heard tales of a man throughout history who never seemed to change age or appearance. He had apparently been involved in some very big events throughout the lifespan of Ixon. But you're not sure if this is the same man.
You know what? I heard about some tales about this in my old... I've heard about this quite a while ago, I gotta say. I mean, in Dixon, you did some wondrous things, but like you say, he could not die.
It could well be. I mean, I have dined with King Titan. I was there when the first Dragonly Coils settled in Ezador.
Sorry, did he say Titan?
Roll me a PTSD check. A con save.
I was around when King Titan II takes a throne.
Natural 20.
You hold it together, you realise that from context, it's not the same King Titan.
Right.
I've been around.
Titan, you say?
Yes. Yes, I've seen the comes and goings of many Titans. I was even around when the first undead were spotted. King Lavelle.
Sorry, you don't mean King Titan as in this age, do you?
This age? What's this age? I'm on about King Titan the first. The very first.
Do I know what King Titan, which my King Titan is?
You know, it's like King Titan the 9th or 10th. It's definitely not
Right.
King Titan the first.
Okay. That's fine. All right. So you know King Titan, did you?
Yes, I've been here for the coming and goings of many Titans. That's what I'm trying to say.
Huh.
I'm probably as old as some of these trees. Older.
Interesting. I
Yes,
wonder
you-
what caused this curse of yours.
Indeed, it's why I try and find my answers. Purgatory didn't have it. Just a damn curse in itself.
I just put my arm around Ezador and says, hopefully you'll find out in Salt Harbor.
Hi everyone, Tom here. Just wanted to say a big thank you to everyone who has watched and listened to this episode. We seem to be getting a bit more views and listens recently, so thank you to everyone who has stuck with us so far, and a big thank you to all of our new listeners and viewers, and of course to anyone who has told people about our attempts at roleplay. The Reaper, the Maelstrom, and the Thief is a homebrew Dungeons & Dragons campaign by RollCast. This episode is featured JB as Dix, Coogan as Gregor the Last, Gareth Ryan as Ezador, and Tom Crabbe as the DM. Intro, midpoint, and outro music were, as always, provided by JB. Editing and sound mixing was done by Tom Crabbe. It's because of the generosity of some incredibly talented artists that we are able to have some amazing ambiences and soundtracks, like the emotive music you may have heard in the background during Mila's backstory. A lot of these artists allow small-time channels and creators like ourselves to use their music royalty-free, so if you've liked what you've heard, or if you want to use them in your own sessions, then please check out the links that are in the description, but of course a special thanks goes to Alexander Nakarada, Darren Curtis Music, Fantasy Realm, Michael Ghelfi Studios, Scott Buckley, Survival Spheres, Sword Coast Soundscapes, The Ambience Channel, and The Seventh Midnight. RollCast is on Facebook, that place that used to be called Twitter, and YouTube. You can find us on them using the handle @CastThatRoll. So, if you've watched this on YouTube and you like what we do, like the video and drop us a sub. It really helps with the algorithm, apparently. We've also got all of our previous episodes up in our Season 1 playlist, so if you've not already, why not go through it? Catch up, give them a like. Our social media profiles have information about upcoming episodes, clips from current episodes, and us just interacting with the larger D&D and podcasting communities, so look for us there. Again, you can find us on Facebook, X, and YouTube, all on the handle @CastThatRoll. Don't want to watch but still want to listen? We've got your back. Look for RollCast on Spotify, Amazon Music, Podbean, Good Pods, and all other podcast platforms. Or alternatively, add our RSS feed so you never miss an episode. Thank you again to everyone who has watched or listened to this episode. With this one done, we're now back to the familiar setting of Salt Harbour and, well, knowing what's coming up, you guys are in for quite a weird ride. We're back for episode 19 on the 30th of August, where maybe the last part of chapter 1 might finally kick off. Or maybe it won't. We tend to sidetrack here. Until then, though, keep playing and we'll see you next time at the table.
Roll on the therapy session.
Right. Before I head into the catch up and stuff.
Bashed it all the way in. Brains leak out and on the bed. Now I know it's fucking dead.
Well, at least I know the outtake for after the credits for this one. That was inspired.